let's put the timer on.
Pressing buttons?
There we go. Button is pushed.
Button is pushed.
Button is pushed.
State filters
Probably.
off because I've made that plan.
Is it a real button you actually push, like a big red button, or is it just like a
I mean, if I
thing,
had
a
stream,
pixel that you
Stream
click
Deck,
on?
if I
I-
had
I
Stream
do.
Deck, we can make it a button.
I could choose to make it a button, but I don't. I use the mouse. So technically I'm pressing a button. It's called left
Yeah.
click.
I mean, yeah, pressing the button on the mouse.
I got a stream deck, so I could get. that I've not
You
used.
The
fucking-
space bar! Bam!
Oh, no,
I've got.
that'd be
No. I want to invest in a big red button.
I mean, you.
No, I've
Could
already got
probably
the big
easily
red
do
button's
that.
already got a use. I
It's
don't want to
for-
get. Really don't want to get those two mixed up.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Oh, I've not even put music up yet because I forgot about that. Let's find a bit of music that we can stick on the background.
You know one music which I really wish wasn't copywritten. But I'm pretty sure it's still copyrighted. The Zoo Tycoon like intro theme. That'd be an amazing just background music for us fucking
I don't know
around.
if I've ever played Zoo Tycoon.
Oh, damn good game. I played the really old one. I haven't played like any of the newer ones.
Hmm.
I used to feed people who didn't like my Zoo to T-Rexes.
Ah,
that sounds like what you could do as Albina.
Yeah.
all of Kevin MacLeod's music is royalty free, so we can use that on stream.
Who's Kevin
Have a
McLeod?
listen. Who's Kevin MacLeod?
You will have heard of Kevin MacLeod's music, even if you
Probably.
don't know who he
Yeah.
is.
You would definitely have heard it.
Is he the Highlander?
I was thinking the same thing. I was trying to go, how do I make a Highlander joke out of it?
No, you're thinking of Kevin McAllister.
Ah, sorry, my bad.
No, he's the guy from Home Alone.
Yeah.
How about we just have Kevin?
Big Kev.
Big Kev.
That's Big Kev Smith.
Kevin Feige?
Ah, Kev Smith. Kevin Smith, cloaks and things like that.
Ah,
Jay Silent
I remember the Hoots.
Yeah.
Is it
It's a
Kevin
natural
Mc-
spark.
isn't Clerk
Promises.
getting a third one?
Yeah, Cloaks
Yes,
3.
it is.
It's out already.
Yeah, it's out on Prime.
All right,
Pay for it though, but
I've got
I can
Prime.
wait.
Tell me the logo isn't Clerks just spelled normally, but instead of an E, it's a 3 backwards or something.
possibly for Cloaks 3.
Ugh. Ugh.
I don't know. I've not actually seen like the logo for it. I'm gonna Google it now.
Everyone, welcome back to Alterra.
Yeah.
I'm just letting you guys riff at this point.
That's why
So
we've got,
just,
two,
yeah, I'm just
I
letting
think-
the time right now.
we've got 2
think
more
we're
minutes for.
I think we're done.
Yeah, get the chat out while you can.
Ah, well,
So Kevin MacLeod's the one from Grand Designs. We're thinking Kevin MacLeod.
that's a different Kevin MacLeod. So you'll all have heard probably the most famous one was Sneaky Snitch.
Yep.
Never heard of it.
Nope.
This concludes the karaoke part of today's stream.
Oh, not karaoke again. I bust my throat at New Year's.
And I did it
doing
on a
that.
bus.
It turns out, everybody, that if you sing from about 5 p.m. to 5 a.m. without breaks, you kind of break your throat. Particularly when you're recovering from a throat infection.
I would do it.
That was my New Year. Essentially, it was great.
What's the delay on this timer again?
Uh,
Like 10 seconds, 30 seconds?
not it's only a couple of seconds, I think. Oh,
Bye.
12 seconds.
Welcome back.
hello there.
I don't know who we lost.
Probably Neil. You did flash quick there for a second. Oh,
Speak, Neil.
No, I'm still there.
hey! Who did we lose then?
Yeah, I don't believe I went anywhere.
Yeah.
Ali, can you
Never know.
speak?
I'm still here. I'm muted, but I'm still here.
Alright.
I'm not
I know.
muted.
Yeah, that would be great.
Uh,
It's like, I'm still here. Shit, I'm muted.
We've got a TR, I believe.
We've got everyone
Hello.
back.
Yeah,
I believe
we've got
so.
everyone.
It's
Shall
just
we,
someone left and come back.
Shall we play some D&D, everyone?
Hell
Suppose we
yes!
Nah, I'm more into Pathfinder these days.
Off we go!
Yeah.
Shall we play some D&D while we still
Yeah.
can play D&D and
Okay,
before we
that
go
works.
to the new system?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, oh, actually.
Till the OG ruins it.
Yeah. I did put hashtag open D&D on my tweet.
That's it. They own that tweet now.
Targeted.
Yeah.
Welcome back, everyone, to World of Alterra, the Shattered Altsphere. Now, episode 47, Intermission 2, as I believe we also begin the new year. First episode back, everyone.
Oh, yeah.
Hey.
Happy New
Year.
Year!
What exciting adventures await for this gaggle of murder hobos in 2023?
None for me.
No doubt. More catastrophe.
Yep.
More allying with giant settlements, even though they're supposed to be enemies. I'm not quite sure how you swung that one, but okay.
Neither do I!
And I've no doubt you'll be god emperors by the end.
Yeah. More eating. Definitely more eating.
Which brings us to the topic of your new settlement home. Well, I suppose first we should start with a quick recap. Previously, the party stole a ship, a giant island floating ship. They piloted towards the city of Bastion, guided by the foggy memories of the once Professor, now Fade, and with some directions from Abigail just towards the mountain in general, although she doesn't actually know the location of the city that was praying and hoping that Fade could conjure up some remembrance of a trail. But you did, and that's what matters. You also picked up your own ship on the way, being flown by the seemingly self-taught Jones. Your
Oh yeah, I
Very,
forgot he flew.
very
I know we
companion.
got it. I don't remember why we have it.
who reacquainted you with Jones and Drax for your two NPCs.
And Hydras and Golem and everything else that I've kept. in
And you were
this-
pleased to find that your Hydras and Golems had made it back to the ship successfully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Emmy's hiding somewhere.
Emmy's
What
hiding
you-
Emmy somewhere.
Managed to make your way to... I actually have a name for it now somewhere. What the hell is it called? Do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. The port. You have managed to make your way to the Crown Mountains. How original, Chris. Yeah, it's mountains at the top of the map. Well done.
Yeah, nice.
Nice. And you managed to complete 2 previous quests, having managed to steal Ironcore's transport ship and received Primal Fire, to which you can now begin incubating those Fire Dragon eggs. They will take time, sufficient time, until I've finished fleshing out the incubation mechanics.
Oh, speaking of flushing things out, Assassin should probably get rid of those spiders' eggs.
Oh yeah,
No, they've kept those. You have no idea what's going on with those anymore. Those will come back to haunt the settlement at some point in the future.
There's like
Where they
24 giant meteor spider eggs in Assassin's stomach and 2 in my bag.
That's what happens to Assassin. They become a Cthulhu-esque horror creature.
Oh no, you're just gonna get
Or-
devoured.
Were.
That's okay. We'll just breed more ships. Apparently, that's what's in the core of this one.
Oh yeah.
How
I
did this
forgot.
world die? An infestation of horror
Meteor
monsters. Yeah.
Yes, you do discover that the ship appears to be powered by some giant plasma squid-like creature that apparently burrows its way into meteorites or giant bodies in the astral sea and makes a shell out of them, to which the shell has then become endeared to be a living Leviathan ship.
So it's
Yep.
an astral hermit crab.
Yeah, very much.
That's a good one.
It's really fucking
Astral
awesome.
hermit squid.
You made your way north of the Crown
Deepness outside of
Mountains
Oxford.
and managed to find the access cave entrance effectively into the district known as Shadow Cove, one of the outer regions of Bastion, the secreted rebellion Noid settlement city. You were met by 3 ships of similar size to Curio, which now has a new name that I can never remember. It should probably actually rename
Sunriser.
Mini.
Dawn Riser.
I was like Dawn something.
Well, name.
Go ahead and rename that. You were met by 3 ships of similar size to Dawn Riser that escorted you into a second hanging off of the main city port entrance, and were then, cordially handed over the ship to its new owners. There was a passing of pleasantries, some
stole the
idle
animals.
threats,
I stole lots of animals.
some stolen animals. Some of Zormir trying to bonk some sense into Alvina to not take all the animals.
It's fine. I left the crabs.
And in a series of Monty Python-esque sketches, you managed to transition the ownership of the ship, retreat on Dawnriser, and managed to make your way to the main entrance of the dock city, where you were able to dock and disembark. You were then cordially met with a representative of the dock union and a shadowy figure who's just said that they were an official representative of the rebellion leadership and would not give their name. But Fade, with your vague recollection and insight, you were able to piece together and realize that this spooky member was part of a faction known as the Inkhearts, part of the effectively CIA of the rebellion.
Special secret service, basically.
The ones who are kind of counterpart to your own organization, or what used to be your own organization before you lost your mind of, I believe it was the Feathers they're called. I need to double check that. I think it's the Phoenix Feathers. And they are kind of dark operatives who aren't said to actually exist, and they're kind of rumored. They're
the Inquisition, right?
Yeah, they're effectively the Inquisition. They don't really exist officially, and yet everyone has a horror story to tell of when, in the night, a troublemaker mysteriously disappeared, only to have rumors of black cloaks dragging them out in the middle of the night, never to be seen again.
It's fine. There'll be plenty of different horror stories, and the figures will change, I'm sure, by the end of our stay.
I'm sure we'll be the horror story for them.
There was a flutter of a lampshade, and screaming. And suddenly a random halfling disappeared one night.
But you have a representative from the union, which appears to be the governing council of the district, who is able to kind of make official requests on your side. Every newcomer is assigned one. Mm-hmm. They are kind of just your official liaison for a while in the dock. The dock is the only public area of the city available to those who do not have a railroad license.
Oh, okay.
Mm. Any other transport within the city requiring the use of a specialized pass that allows you access to both the city center and one or more of the satellite districts that make up Bastion. Apparently, you have been informed that you are being vetted for such a license, and that the results will come back in 2 to 3 weeks. Until then, enjoy your stay in Shadow Cove.
Would I have one of those already, having lived?
No, because you got blown up with all of your possessions.
Yeah. So I do have it. But
you would have had one.
Inside
you would have had one.
It's in me somewhere.
It's gone now.
There might be a couple. There might be a couple of bits of it in you. There might be a couple of bits in some of the walls in the area.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine.
There's just a remnant of the last letters of your name and your elbow or something.
It's like half of your date of birth.
It's an older code, sir, but
the saw.
It's sore. It's a sore.
Damn sore.
Now, over the course of the 3 days that we're going to time skip to for when you actually get to go and do active session play, you manage to find yourself an inn, or you can stay out on the ship, up to each player's choice. You have they do accept gold as a main currency here, although any of the more restricted items do require the rebellion emblems that can only be gained from specialized quest.
Did we have some of those?
I can't remember if we finished that to get that.
We finished a couple quests. I don't remember if the rewards were any emblems though.
No, you haven't done any of the emblem quests.
Gotcha.
Because those were effectively side quests to gain extra currency.
Yeah. Okay.
However, I was debating giving you some for having stolen a fucking ship.
A fucking planet size.
I need to actually double check what the exchange rate is for those.
if you want, we could literally have it be we're getting some, but it's currently in the they're calculating and getting the money together because I imagine it's quite a bit.
Yeah, you will get your reward in 2 to 3 weeks when you get your passes, and they vetted. You know, there's a lot of bureaucracy in the rebellion.
Yeah.
Maybe
Damn
maybe
that
I
red
could
tape.
have some,
literally
but I'll
going-
act like a little Pez dispenser.
They're literally going, okay, we will buy this ship, yes. How much is it costing? Oh, fuck. Give us a bit of time, we'll get you your money.
I mean, it
Also,
doesn't
they
take
were-
that amount of time to just explore the fucking thing.
Yeah, that's the
No, I've mapped a bit of it and been told how to.
Well, you have a schematic. It outlines the buildings, not what's in the buildings.
Yeah, I got a bit of the mapping and also been told about the portal.
Well, yeah, Lou asked Pilot 45 if there was any teleportation circles on the ship, so like the princess didn't come back.
That would be very
he's-
funny.
He said, no, there's no
Primal Gate.
teleportation circle. However, on the lower levels, there's a primal gate.
Which was the part of the expedition for all of us to go down there and make sure the primal gate is not active.
Yes.
Which you discovered that burying it seems to deactivate the event horizon.
Sweet.
Yes, that is where we would be going again, Alvina, if you want to work on your primal stuff.
Yeah.
But
You know.
for now, we're closing it so none of them come through there.
It's fine. I can wait.
Good.
In addition to finding out the recap, Assassin mysteriously disappears after the second day
On a quest for milk.
on a quest for milk to return. Who knows what they're up to?
She's not on they're not on their own either.
Fade
As
is
a party,
eventually
yeah.
requisitioned by the rebellion, having vetted their story that they were once the professor, and has been invited back to the capital to, undergo.
Dissection?
No. What do you call it when you finish a mission and you have to debrief?
Debrief.
And is required to go back to headquarters to debrief. To which
repair.
they'll get back into the fold and probably be helped by their contacts to help to recover their memories. But with that, before we reveal the new settlement map, let's go ahead and just say hi to everyone. Wolfie, say hi.
Howdy!
Zormir, say hi.
Hi, and you can't have my character, D&D.
Hope you say hi. Gwent, say hi.
You can have Bob's character D&D.
Master Lou, say hi.
Hey.
The Point Bastion, say hi.
Bastian.
Base.
Bastion.
No. Bastion.
Hey.
And last but not least, and also their not quite final, but final appearance, apart from the odd occurrence or what cameo or blah 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 blah, as we attempt to reduce the numbers down so that not everyone is talking over each other, because 8 people doesn't work on a digital stream
Yeah.
when they aren't all in person. Who knew? Is Fade.
Hi. Yes. My final time as a fully paid main recurring member. Hi.
You're
Who's
quite
fading
distant
out?
here,
Who's
James.
fading out as we speak?
Was that deliberate?
I think it's because he's traveling right now, aren't you?
Yeah, no, it was deliberate.
That was well played. Well played. I like that one.
At some point they've apparently want to do some final farewells vignette with people that they've discussed things with. I don't know. Apparently James has been messaging a bunch of you. So I'll let you guys figure that out whenever James is actually at a computer or has actual vocals to do stuff. But for now, we move over to the full map of Shadow Cove, which unfortunately is not as high res as I would have liked, because Roll20 can only do so much.
It can
As
do.
we explore the very
Damn! Still looks
colorful twilight
Pretty.
city of Shadow Cove.
good. It still looks damn good. You did a
Yeah.
very good job.
Oh, yeah.
For those of you not in Roll20, because I don't actually think James is in here, I'll post the actual more high res map in the Discord in a second.
You will find me at various locations, like a glass blower's, and an opera house, etc.
With a question mark above your head.
I'll be
For those wondering, Chris, why does
Yeah,
this look
I'll
so
be- I'll
much
be
like an
very
RPG pixel art game, Chris? And it'll be because it technically is. I have built this in a game engine,
Yeah.
Nice.
and as part of Phase 1, I did a lot of art.
Mhm.
And coming soon, I am pleased to announce, as Phase 2 will be a walking sim, where you too can explore Shadow Cove at your leisure.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah.
How many
Very
fires are going to
impressive,
be
man.
by the end of
On
us doing that one?
Patreon.
And if James sends me dialogue snippets, I will add a pixel art fade randomly throughout the buildings that you can visit.
I will say I particularly like these buildings.
Nice.
The warehouses.
Yeah, I really like them. I just think they look amazing.
Thank you. Lost my train of thought now. So this is Shadow Cove.
Want me to write the script for it?
Oh, if you draw me some actual sprites, yeah. I've not gotten to NPC pixel art yet. I've just gotten through the building segment.
Oh, are these not guards then?
No, those are dummies.
Ah, okay. I thought there were
Yeah.
3 guards. I was like, they're big.
Problem with very quickly developing pixel art skills is not only you'll notice the vast quality difference between the early work I did and the later buildings I did. See if you can figure out the chronological order which I designed buildings.
Yep.
But also, there's only pixel art really gets degraded when it needs to be scaled down to an overworld map with like 6 pixels for each thing. But what was I going to do? I was going to tell you a little bit about Shadow Cove. It is a dock city. The main aspect of you'll notice there's a bunch of like docks out into space that don't have ships next to them because they can be populating ships.
It's fine. They're coming and going, right? So,
Yeah, they're coming and going. Just assume there's other ships occasionally there.
the map only shows stationary objects.
The brown outline shows the cave walls, and the docks is partially built out in the opening of
So
the
it's-
underside.
So it's not that the walls are just covered in shit.
They might be, but not all of it.
But only the bottom left side is actually exposed out into the astral void at the tail end of the floating continent realm itself.
Actually,
So if you jump off the edge of that dock, you're coming out the side of the continent, and presumably you will just float away into the astral sea.
That's what happened to Athas. I see. Okay.
no, they're allergic to. They're lactose intolerant. We've established this.
Okay.
But
The universe have milk.
as you
Everything has
arrive in the dock city, you notice there's a hustle and bustle of you that is reminiscent of the cities of old back in the main sphere. It kind of remind you of the Aqaba Ashma docks, or one of the well, I'm trying to think of other cities that have docks now, or the coming and going bustle of the Copper Sigil Cosmopolitan Planar Hub. Not quite as dense or as populated. It's still quite a small town compared to the cities that you're used to. It's not as big as Aqaba, and it's nowhere near as big as the giant metropolitan planar hub.
Mm.
So
But
maybe
there's
like Taru on Jedi.
maybe a little bit smaller, and even that. After all, this is only
Yeah.
the one district
Oh,
of
yeah.
the decentralized town, but it's more hustle and bustle and more populous than you've seen in any of the outposts that you've been to so far since being in this new realm. It's at least 10 times the size of any of the smaller outposts that you previously visited of Salvage and Iron Depth. And with it, as you kind of walk in, there's that cacophony of noise and machinery and that smell of grease and oil at the entrance. As you can see carts and small motorized vehicles running along rails back and forth from the docks, scattering out deeper into the city through a warehouse of through a district, an area of warehouses, and then deeper on towards a large train station all the way at the far right, which isn't actually visualized on the map, but is where the rails eventually go to. You will eventually come to know this as the Shadow Cove main station that crisscrosses throughout the mountainside itself in large cargo trains. And is the only entrance or exit deeper into the mountain settlements. As you also arrive, you'll notice a bluey silver metal walkway that has ramps and stairs leading up from the various docks and is kind of overlooking this lower end of warehouses and connects to the plateaus that tower a good 80 to 100 foot above the ground as you get up onto these cascading cliffs as the city seems to stretch outwards and upwards.
Okay.
From there, you discover the sense of quite earthy and very mild and spicy smells of cumin and ginger and garlic. There's quite an earthiness to this place as you walk towards the various stalls and find that the cuisine of this area appears to be that of a lot of roots and vegetables and things that have come and grown under the ground.
I'm a fan. Potatoes!
They do, and eventually, as we segue onto this by discussing food, you discover the specialty of this town because I've made every town have its own specialty.
Yeah.
I have now updated the little bad guy's Google Sheets with the Shadow Cove dock. There is more things to be updated on that, particularly around the shipbuilding side of things and the upgrades you can requisition here. But that will be coming in the next week or two because I still need to finalize that. But you'll be pleased to know, because this is the part that everyone cares about, the specialty of this town is sweet potato poutine.
Poutine! Ooh, nice.
Ooh, lovely.
I get sweet potato on potato, basically, with cheese. Yay.
With a magical effect of during the next short rest after consuming this meal, a creature gains a bonus to the next Constitution saving throw they make equal to their proficiency bonus. This effect ends on a long rest, and the creature can only benefit of this effect once per long rest.
That is really nice.
So
Plus
for
4 to
10 gold, you too can buy yourself some sweet potato poutine and enjoy the occasional food buff.
I think
Can Fade call Alvina to one side for a second in this place?
Okay. She's
If you
already
would like
bought
to
a
do one of
potato.
your little vignettes, I'll go around
Yeah.
everyone as to what they want to do and ask questions and explore. But while then I hand this over to James and Alvina for a second because I need to go get more water. And then I'll get everyone else's roundup after that.
It's the farewell tour.
Yeah.
Starting with the one who killed me.
Yay!
I dragged
didn't kill you.
you into an alley and no.
Stab.
I wanted. You eat a lot.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Oh.
Oh, you eat a lot. I don't know who cooks on the ship, but
Me.
I've seen you cook, and I've obviously had a few days here before you. And they hold out like a thick slab wrapped quite clumsily in different bits of parchment that's been rescued. Like it's a present that is wrapped in a similar manner to how Fade is. All just different bits all mashed together, and it's a terrible job. Because low decks.
Yeah.
This may help in your travels. I've been noting things down for. Like I found an old journal of mine rattling around in one of my legs and transcribed it for you.
Okay.
And if you open it up,
I will.
it is basically a cookbook and different edible fungi from various parts of like the scraplands and all over that that Fade has traveled to. This bit of this animal is poisonous. And then in like brackets, Alvina shouldn't have a problem with that though, close brackets. And then has like the recipe for the sweet potato poutine and other favorite dishes that Fade has made or the professor made. They didn't have taste buds, so they don't know if they're any good.
Yeah.
Like some of them are definitely like engine oil and grease.
I'll
Not
try
sure you could eat that. But yeah, it's and look, if you flick, and about halfway through, the pages just stop and the rest are blank. So you can, wherever you get to go with the Dawn Razor, whatever you get. It's a weird name. Like the dawn doesn't rise. What? Anyway.
Yeah.
You can add recipes of your own.
Oh, thank you, Faye. That's awesome. I will make good use of this.
So it's and actually some of the pages are edible.
Ooh.
Yep. Well, technically edible. But if you scratch, like, and obviously there are bits of pressed flowers and stuff in there. If you scratch this, that's how it should smell. Like run your hand along the spine. Yeah, those are actual tentacle, spine, quillfish things. Those are poisonous. Don't touch them. Etc.
Okay.
etc.
Oh, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I should get you a present.
No, it's fine. It's fine. You, yeah.
Well, you have
Maybe,
that conversation, because at this point you're umming and ahhing.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you a pat on the back and goes, thank you, Fade. I will make good
That's
use of
all
it.
right.
It does so. Right, as we go around the rest of the group, you guys have been here about 3 days. You have a rough idea of the terrain of it, so do feel free to just ask, does the town have this or that? As obviously there's too much information to go around. I will give a brief thing of this is a dock district side town. So it doesn't have quite the full commercial capabilities of the main center, and it has specialized in primarily transport and things that you would need to restock a ship. So a lot of raw material or ready-made food or rations, as well as a lot of repair shop. The wooden buildings on the first plateau to the north is the effectively craft and industrial district, or a zone within the district. And there you can find a couple of specialists who are the kind of general specialists who have a wide variety of skill required, just because there isn't as highly specialized individuals in the dock as there would be in one of the other districts or the main city. But here you can find some good generalists who can give you up to tier 2 skills for most things. So if you need repairs for armors or weapons, or want to see or looking for low-end skills or anything, you'd be able to find them in that area. To the north, you have the more commercialized and trading posts. They actually transport things or import things in from the main city, and they'll have a lot of what you'll find in the player's handbook, as well as a lot of common magic items of a more like mundane, non-arcane nature, since magic encompasses everything, and they'll have some lower-end stuff from the various salvage tables for sale as well as just a lot of things that you'd imagine you need, like a lot of like travel clothing or camping equipment, things that you could imagine would be of useful to sailors or people just making dock here.
There's one weird one I'd want to ask, because I know we're going to get the metal that we need, right, Zomir? Because that's definitely going to be here. I'd have a wander around at some point and ask, does anyone have lava on sale?
Lava on sale. You get a lot of quizzical expressions from the locals who stare at you in a way that Alvina is very accustomed to now. And occasionally you'll get the short just shake of the head and a move on. Once or twice you'll get people being a little bit more aggressive, some burly sailor-like types who think you're making fun of them for some reason and will attempt to pick fights with you only to sorely lose.
Yep.
and a couple, and the remainder give you sympathetic looks of "you must be astral mad."
Yeah, fair enough.
This is a mountainside, not a volcano.
Yeah, I assumed that, but she would because she was recommended to get a lava pool for the pyrohydra that she's gonna get because she's got the egg. So
I'm just kind of waiting for you to actually come back and ask me this question.
I will be. Yeah.
You have the warehouse district in the central there, along with what the main rail network that runs throughout the district to the main station. You and the walkways that go over the railway, so you never actually have to travel through it. To the right is the more residential districts with slightly more larger houses and apartment blocks, and where a lot of the admin and council live, and a lot of the more senior dock workers. And to the south, you have the more tourist residential area with a lot of taverns and inns and a large bathhouse for public use.
Ooh, nice.
And also a giant 3-tower building looking over everything that is very clearly some sort of guard station.
Yeah.
I'm guessing on the downtime travel, I would have got a chance to attempt to do some tinkering with my weapon.
Yeah.
What do you want me to roll for that one?
This would be an intelligence check with proficiency, as you are kind of, you did build this, so you're reasonably skilled. Give me an intelligence check with proficiency.
You've got your tools, remember, as well, which
Yeah.
give you a bonus for that.
Intelligence check.
It's +1 your multi-tool, right?
Yeah. So it'd be a +5 to this.
You got this, Tommy. 5.
10.
10. Nope.
The same problem that previously plagued you continues to do so. You have just not had that spark of creativity that you need to break through whatever mechanical blockage that you have come. It's just not quite clicking. And honestly, is it any surprise? You've been so cognitively busy with trying to keep the party alive and everything that's happened that have you really been thinking about it in your spare time? Like every time you attempt to put some downtime into it, you're immediately interrupted or something goes wrong.
Hey, Zormir, how can you make this hammer smaller? Shut up!
Anything
Hey,
fun.
Zorme, they don't sell lava here, it turns out.
Oh, for fuck's sake, we'll open the door for a little bit and we'll fix it. Just give me a chance to think here.
But you're able to fully get your ship repaired for whatever cost you had. You're also able to fully up your stores for materials from the ship. I actually checked earlier and realized I'm pretty sure you'd already maxed out your stores with all the scrap you needed. So you get to repair the ship for free, or using free resources effectively, and keep your stores maxed out.
Yeah, we did that, and we're planning on also getting extra metal to reinforce the animal playroom. Let's go with
animal pen.
Yes, which I will put in for the ship upgrades, which the ship currently has several vacant slots, including one empty feature slot, one empty defense slot, 2 empty offensive slots, and 1 empty passive slot, which can be upgraded from the list of ship upgrade modules that I'm still currently building out and need to do because I put all my time into art.
Yeah. Fireproof animal room, I think, is the one we want at the moment. So
let me go around and just get a rough idea of what each character has been kind of prioritizing for the last 3 days. Have been prioritizing relaxing in this new settlement now that they're not actually in danger from the roads and are kind of more at home. There's a lot of Noid familiarity that you'd find with any settlement. People are people. You occasionally see children running around causing a ruckus, people doing their laundry and going about their life. There's almost a calmness here that you weren't really seeing in the other settlements, as if people are going about their lives without any concern or worry from the outside. And you imagine it has something to do with the giant mountain range that surrounds them and divides them from the ongoing abyss of war and Noid genocide going on outside the mountains, that the settlements in the further frontiers don't quite have the luxury of ignoring. So there's a lot less edge to this place that you'd experienced in the other settlements. So it's a lot more familiar to the towns that you would have been at in the main sphere. So, Zormir, what have you been up to for 3 days? Have you been shopping, relaxing, tinkering with stuff?
Looking for some rares or if they have anything, even if it's completely broken arcana, things like relic, almost relic-like sort of items, just because he needs that little bit of thing to unstump him, or that little bit of extra material to.
You go to the antique shop, aren't you?
Basically, he's just looking for all the sort of places that he thinks are cave divers or reliquaries, or just places that are even some places that are he knows are sort of kind of back alley looking, because he knows he's tough enough to basically still walk out of the place.
You're not gonna get mugged.
Yes, the tier 3 adventurers walk into a sailor port full of ruffians. They fear no man for their tier 3 adventurers.
And plus, he knows he's fairly well armed, and if he's got any problems, he'd tie one of the golems to him to help him.
Flying around with a giant goat, floating goat. That's gonna be inconspicuous.
Well, not flying around on it, but he ties himself to that, so anything
I
he
know
gets the bonuses.
It flying around. It's a golem.
The golem's just coming along with me
Yeah,
for
I forget it's like 10 foot tall or something stupid.
Yeah, it's half a body and it's like 10 feet tall and flies and is solid gold.
It's more of a reason for not to mess with the.
You're not gonna find anyone. They're gonna shut their doors. It's even more nerve-wracking than Alvina walking down a street.
Yeah.
A couple days of exploring and looking through back alley shops up in the commercial district, you do eventually find this odd, not quite antique shop, but a weird hybrid of pawn shop and exchange shop.
It's that shop in Vegas, isn't it?
And you find the shopkeeper, Zoe, a rather wild-eyed looking goblin who seems to just be surrounded by piles and piles of junk in their little wooden shop. And as you're kind of browsing the piles from a height difference, kind of looking down, the piles are probably only coming up to your waist. They're about goblin-sized piles.
Some pretty big piles, to be fair.
You notice several instances, the first time since coming to this town, that doesn't seem to have much of a trace of arcane. You've seen one or two common magic items here or there, but they look to be almost relics. Items that are kind of held or clutched to older persons' bodies, or incorporate into the side of buildings with rails around it and a cage around it to kind of protect it from any common thief. You find small fragments of hybrid arcanite throughout the pile, what appears to be broken arcane items, some of which, while of a slightly different aesthetic design, seem to remind you of the functionalities of some of the more uncommon and rare items that you are aware of as an artificer. There's definitely design differences, but as you're kind of peeking at them, the functionalities look to be the same. You see a couple wands, what appears to be the remnants of some sort of small mechanical arcane copter. And the shop appears to be the only place that you've found so far that seems to have arcane. As you go to try and pick a piece out to look at it, suddenly the piece is snatched out of thin air before you can grab it, and it's gone. You don't think you saw anything. Give me a perception check. What the?
Fuck
It was there, and then there was a gust of wind, and it wasn't.
I love, by the way, that I made this almost exact same person in Geddon a couple weeks ago. Like, almost exact same shops. Damn,
damn.
Zombie!
Oh shit!
Zombie sees all.
And then your brain catches up with your eyes. And it all starts clicking into piece. Your subconscious was still piecing it together and starts feeding it to you. It's not that you didn't see it, it's that you saw it too early. There was a slight distraction in your pocket as you heard the very faint beep of your arcane Pokedex. That it distracted you momentarily, but you still caught it out the side of your eye, the small sparkle of arcane particles, the small trail of the arcane as it flashed back and forward. Yes. Somebody using some enhancement of arcane to their speed appears to have dashed in, grabbed it, and dashed out. And as you look over at Zoe the Goblin, just mindlessly not paying attention to you, she's kind of just looking away nonchalantly. Too nonchalant, like she's deliberately trying to appear nonchalant. You notice, half buried in the trash pile she's currently looking through, or the relic pile she's currently looking through, as she would call it, what appears to be traces of boots of speed on her person, but they're worn. They're so incredibly worn. The color's faded. Half of the sole is flopping off, but there appears to be just enough magic left in it to keep it functional. She is definitely wearing the most battered pair of boots of speed you have ever seen in your... How an arcane object can be left to degrade to such a quality is blasphemous to you. There's no
Especially
mistaking it.
considering magic items don't get dirty or degrade, even
It's
when
very
they're
hard
dropped
to
in
make
acid.
them degrade like that.
She must have
Effort has been
purposefully
put
done that.
in to make
Yeah.
them look shit.
Magic items don't degrade on a human lifespan, but after hundreds, potentially thousands of years, who's to say what happens to an arcane magic item in constant use?
Oh my bloody god. How have you made them so worn out?
She ignores you.
Now, I know your little trick there was nice and all,
She's nicked
To-
the wallet.
to dash in and dash out, hiding the very good stuff. But if you're expecting to make any kind of sale,
At this, her head kind of peeks up a little bit. She very slowly glances back over her shoulder at you with a questioning glance.
it is good to know that the clientele that you asked spotted the rare finds. I may not know entirely what that particular thing you whizzed in and whizzed out and took, but I know that you're wearing some very worn out boots of speed. Hand over face, kind of like.
Clang.
I wish I had the materials to help repair them, because it is quite appalling that they're in that kind of degradation. But I find that a lot of the more arcane in nature here in this world is a little degraded.
She raises an eyebrow at you. She does say nothing.
What do you want, copper?
So it's not sale that you want, because you would have maybe started offering something. So what do you want in trade?
She raises the second eyebrow.
I can see what I have that may pique your interest. I have some broken pieces of that I don't know if I can repair with what we have that you might find interesting.
She lowers one eyebrow.
Or I could give you a piece of something that I've actually works and functions.
She raises her second eyebrow again.
Have you ever heard of a thing called a firearm? I'm looking at thinking of the things that I've got, like a revolver.
Pistol. Yeah.
She wiggles her eyebrows.
I don't know what that means.
Would you be interested in something like a revolver?
She continues wiggling her eyebrows.
And maybe the knowledge and ways to maintain and craft more ammunition for that.
She stops wiggling her eyebrows.
Do I need
Stop
to get my
talking.
gun?
You made the sale already. Come on, whip out the gun.
It's back on the
Jeez.
boat. It's back on the boat.
Well, yeah. Well, then you
I'm
know.
not exactly going to run around with a revolver that I'm not using.
Why not?
That's half. If that's
Alvina would do it all the time.
yeah, it's like the Second Amendment in America or something.
Alvina's got your gun. She's actually taken it because, like, well, he's not taking it, so I'm having it.
Really not using it.
Yeah.
Looks down the barrel. This is pretty cool. It's all dark down there, though.
But it's broken. It's broken is the thing. So it's just club people with it.
But without the gun to hand, what would you like to do, Zormir, as this goblin stares at you? Both eyebrows raised, but not wiggling.
Kiss her, you fool. Kiss her.
Look around for a lampshade.
I was hoping you would say
I was
that.
so
I have
tempted to
a
say-
thing for this. Yeah.
Why do you have a
After
thing
this
for
scene.
this?
I was hoping for a junk shop or a glass blowers. I'll speak to book you after this scene plays out.
Alright. But Zormir, what would you like to do?
Like I said, look for
Look for a lampshade. Is fuck you in this room?
There are no lampshades in this room.
Yeah.
There is
Okay.
nothing
Like
but
dogs.
these skin bins filled with relics.
Just like dogs, lampshades do not exist here.
Okay, I'm going back to get that weapon, and I'll be right back. And I'm gonna use the jump on the golem and fly back to the ship to get it.
Zormir, as you leave the ship, you can still feel two goblin eyes watching you leave with raised eyebrows. We'll find out what happens when you return to the shop of Zoe the trader.
Alvina just in the street going, what the fuck is Zormir doing? Why is he just flying back towards the ship on a go? What is happening?
All right, James, you said you had a scene you really wanted to do involving a lampshade.
I think he was trying to flirt. Fuck you. Hey, look what I found. I bought this from your sister over there.
What?
Yeah, the goblin. She.
You have a sister? Fuck you.
Have I got a sister?
All I'm learning here is that Fade is a goblin racist.
No, she said she was your sister, so she would give me mates rates. So usually this would cost so
I think
much
she got
more.
scammed.
What?
I like her. Let's go meet her.
I like this one. She's not my sister yet, but with that kind of a scam, I'm willing to check.
But I bought this for you, and
Alright.
it's wrapped in rags, and it feels like as you open it, and it's a little glass ball with little metal sort of wires or filaments or something inside.
It's a grenade.
Watch, it does this, and I cast light on it. You can have it under a lampshade to make a lamp.
I mean, that's all well and good, but I can't do it.
Yeah. Oh. Well, you could keep it in the rag,
You know you can cast light literally on anything, don't you?
but now it's a light bulb.
Unless it's permanent light, it's useless.
It is. It can be a permanent light.
Pretty good, actually.
Fuck you shakes it and looks at it closer. Is it literally just like
I have bought a light bulb and paid a ridiculously large sum for it.
Best part, by the way, I think I possibly could actually make that into a semi-permanent light bulb with the fire stuff.
Yeah.
Gwent mentioned something about you lampshades and something, I don't know. But, yeah, so, this is for you.
All right. Okay, thank you. I've not got anything for you.
No, why would you?
Exactly. Why would I?
Just walks off.
And just leave. Yeah, I knew that would be your exactly. You get it. Leaves.
And
Hell
that's
yeah.
it.
That was
Yeah,
awesome.
you know what? Different people process loss and like saying goodbye in different ways. I was hoping for something like
that
that.
a loss.
I was
Gwent,
hoping for something like
what are you doing, or what has been Gwent's priority having arrived in? Is this potentially one of the first large Noid settlements that you've come across in your travels?
Willingly.
Yes, it is. How many days has it been in total since we've been on the ship and here?
Oh god, how many did I say it took the ship to
It
actually
was like
arrive?
a couple of weeks, I think, or a month. It was a little bit.
It wasn't quite that much because it took you 2 weeks to get to Iron Core, and the ship was faster. So I think it was only a week to get the full distance.
Okay.
So it would have been a week, and you've been here a couple days from when these vignettes begin.
Okay, so 10 days. Because I need to keep track of how many days until I get my big spell back.
Oh yeah.
Unfortunately. But
And did you use divine intervention?
no, different thing.
Okay. I couldn't remember if you had used it or not, because that's also a tracker one, isn't it?
Quite possibly. I try not to speak to the gods as
I know,
much as
you
possible.
headlock him.
Maybe, but I'd never willingly use divine intervention unless I had to. But yes, Gwen, what would you like to do in the town?
Gwen is not going to go into the town that often, like just hanging out at the docks for the most part. Just too many people, too many eyes. It's just bad news. I would be casting a couple of spells on the actual ship, but the closest I would get would be like here-ish, and then I'd be trying to commune with the city to get an idea of what's in the close surrounding area in case there's any problems I can see forthcoming.
Incoming muggers. Oh.
Yeah, incoming
Okay.
issues.
When are the police coming because of Alvina, Zormir, or fuck you?
Also, yes.
Okay.
But for the ship, over a couple of days, I'm going to cast the Hallow spell a couple of times.
Ooh, fuck yes.
So the first one will be in just my quarters, and it will be courage, just so you can't be frightened while in there.
Ah.
So for once, I am not frightened, which
Well,
will
in
be the
your
first time in a long time.
In your bedroom. That's really cool. I like that.
Yeah. And then for Alvina, tongues inside her animal menagerie, so they can all talk.
Yes.
God.
You're the best.
Yeah,
Oh,
and tongues as well into the main mess area. So at least, if we need to, we can talk in case
Shit, I can't understand him. Quickly,
can't
take
talk
to the
anymore.
Go to the kitchen.
Yeah, everyone hangs out in the kitchen. It's the cool place to go.
Yeah.
Well,
I approve.
can I add to it since I'm going back to the ship whilst he's there? Because
To be fair, this is over like the week travel and the 3 days you've been there. At any point, you could have done this.
Yeah, Gwent and I have gotten a big hug from Alvina when they said what they've done to to basically 2 of Alvina's 3 rooms, as far as she's concerned.
I mean,
Yeah, don't
it
assume
might
these
take you
vignettes have
like
to be chronological order.
yeah, it might take you like a day or two to realise that even though you're speaking to the animals, you still can't understand them because you also need to speak with animals up.
Yeah. Which I have. But just the
That should
concept
work.
of it, it's for future reference as well, because it'll work on the dragons.
Tongues is for just languages. It doesn't work with animals as well.
Yeah, they have to have a language, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But the dragons
affected
have a
creatures.
language.
Yeah, Like any creature, even if they don't share a common language. So as long as they can speak a language, it is fine.
Exactly.
Yeah, but things like the hydras, they won't be able to. Emmy might be able to.
Anyway,
This
moving
I
on from the
don't know, but I'm doing
technicalities
my
of,
best.
of stuff. We'll deal with that when it's relevant.
But yeah, but just trying to get a idea of the city, or at least the docks, because more than likely, and I'm not saying it's going to happen, but more than likely, I'm going to have to escape from the docks quickly. So
Yep.
getting the vibe of the docks is what I would be spending my time doing.
That's
You,
fair.
you notice a couple of things. One, that while there is rowdiness and, occasionally some stern words and arguments, there is a startling lack of violence at the docks. And not only that, but as you watch and your watch turns from hours into days, you come to appreciate how meticulous the schedule and timing is of the docks. Everything is done to pinpoint precision, and occasionally you spot what appears to be foremen's kind of checking things, keeping an eye on everyone, and a very large degree. There appears to be a foreman for every 10 to 15 laborers.
Okay.
This is a very well run dock. And then occasionally, once or twice, you spot them. You're not quite sure you notice them at first, but there's a prickle on the back of your long mane neck. They're there watching from the shadows. 2, 3, you're not entirely sure. They come and go throughout the day. But you're not the only person constantly keeping watch on the docks. But that's what you discover.
Interesting.
I get any kind of description of what they look like, or just like eyes in cloaks and shadows?
Give me a perception check.
Come on, Gwen.
Okay, perception. A terrible roll.
Really roll her up for Gwen, but
You catch the sight of long 6-foot trench coats, constantly in shadow. But the one thing you do notice, the one time you see one of them move, there's a very distorted wiggle to them. As if they're not all quite tonically stable as you'd expect a 6-foot figure to be. But that's all you
Why
managed
catch
to
their eyes
catch.
at any point?
You do not. Not with a 19.
Okay. I'm
Jason,
gonna
would you like
be
to do anything else
making
before we...
myself useful. No, just trying to make myself useful on the ship, and if any of the dock workers look like they need a little bit of help, I'll try to help there as well.
There appears to be a remarkable prevention of even when you think something's about to fail, there's already somebody there immediately to catch it, preemptively stopping any problem before it occurs. There is a very high degree of surveillance and efficiency to the stock. But as we move over to the point Bastion, what is the point's vibe as they arrive in this new settlement? What are you up to?
Point has gotten stir crazy being on the ship for this long.
yeah.
So as soon as they've landed, they are donning what they think is a disguise. It is just the delivery person outfit they've worn before. Anyone who's met them before will know it's them.
I was about to say, just straight up be a Mario outfit.
Yeah, just minor illusion a box and just go for a walk around the kind of tourist staying area, just seeing if I can overhear any rumors. Partly looking for places to play, but kind of overhearing any rumors, anything that might be interesting to bring back.
Yeah. Give me either a wisdom perception check if you're just eavesdropping, or give me a charisma perception check if you would like to insert yourself into conversations and get the old ladies talking.
The point is definitely inserting themselves into conversations, if only to bring up this mysterious new figure they've heard of called the Point.
I see.
You're being your own hype man. One point, Albina just walks past, like mid conversation, goes, "Oh, hey, point."
Who? No, not him. Oh, good grief. Yep, that went well.
Could have been an natural one. They could have stabbed you.
You catch the odd discussion and rumors, the occasional mention of, oh, didn't you hear? I hear Jerry was causing trouble down at the tavern last night. Nobody, he hasn't shown up to work, and all of the schedules have been adjusted to reflect his absence overnight. Isn't that? Oh, you don't think it's the ink hearts, do you? No. That's just a myth, a story. You find what appears to be 6 to 7 elderly women of a mix of races sitting out at the park in front of the bathhouses, just sitting around, feeding the small little moles that occasionally pop out of the dirt, and watching the odd bat or two flap around the upper reaches of the cavern walls. As you
Pigeons in this world, that'd be awesome.
As you approach them and try to place yourself within the conversational circle of them, you find yourself in a duel of barbs with the leader of this gaggle of old women, who
The
seems to
alpha
take a
grandmother.
disliking to you.
The alpha grandmother.
She
No.
begins picking apiece your outfit, questioning the trends kids are into these days.
I am still wearing the delivery person uniform. So she's picking apart this uniform.
Every time you try,
Asking about your life choices, like the grandmother she is.
every time you try
Okay.
to deflect her criticisms away and try to get the other old ladies to be in the conversation, she immediately snaps back with some new critique that has constantly kept you on your heels. This woman, her rhetoric is impenetrable. You've never fought such a charismatic, determined foe. What would you like to do? The point? You can continue fruitlessly trying to get past this Karen's defenses, or you can retreat, having failed to infatuate the old ladies with your persona.
I feel like about halfway through, the point is just going to stop and just go, teach me your ways.
A persuasion check.
Oh, I'm good at those. Yeah, okay. Ooh,
Could be worse.
The gaggle of ladies go quiet. You can hear the sound of children shouting and running around in the distance through the small shanty-like town. The wind, a soft breeze, rustles the magenta leaves above you as you lock eyes with Karen. She stares you down, but you stand your ground. She nods, a grin twisting at the side of her lips. She raises one aged old finger up to you. And in a surprisingly deep voice that you've come to associate her with. Oh, very well. If you wish to be one, you must pass the initiation.
The other lady is just, no one's passed the initiation since.
I'm joining the PTA. I'm joining the PTA.
He's
Karen,
becoming a Kevin.
The point just nods silently.
Are you sure you're up for the challenge? After all, a young person like yourself. I doubt you have the time or the experience to fulfill this quest.
I've seen many things in my time. And surprisingly, time is what I have. A
Weirdly
lot
enough,
of.
got a lot
At
of
least
that.
2 weeks of it.
1 week. In 1 week's time, is the stew off?
Yeah. Point.
If you
Right.
wish to earn our respect and join our collective, you will enter and present a stew that truly encapsulates your life experience. And I don't want any of some basic bitch mushroom stew, you understand? This stew is only for the finest, those who have lived life to the extreme.
Okay.
Agnes here used to be an adventurer. She sailed the astral seas. Agnes just nods. Poppy over here. Well, Poppy's gone toe to toe with not only 3 dragons, but a giant of such strength. She barely made it alive, isn't that true, Poppy? Oh, I nearly lost an eye to that one.
Point thinks about bringing up what we've been doing for the past few weeks, but just thinks better of it.
Yeah.
And Maggie
No.
over here. Maggie on here spent an entire semester in the Under Salvos.
God.
Do you know what it's like in that upside down place? Everything's backwards.
I barely lasted, was it 2 days we were through in there?
Wait, it's upside down and backwards.
Yes.
Reverse.
Confusing place.
The Under Salvos. Or the Undervos for short.
I clearly have a lot to learn.
So,
I
present your stew next week and maybe we'll discuss seeing if you fit among such an elite.
Here's my question: how do you cook chaos in a stew?
point bows and
I mean,
the point bows, turns it, and quick turns back just, where is this?
Oh, we hold it over in the shanty park over there, in the center of the small dwellings. Oh, it's a whole community event. We all come together. You know, any tourists that happen to be by the day, they also like to partake. It's quite the community event. We have games for the children and festivities as well.
I'll bring my Alvina. Nods and starts looking for market stalls that will sell ingredients. While I check my inventory to see if there is anything in here that might be worthwhile. I do have the alchemy jug.
If
I have a
only
spice
one of
pouch,
your
bud.
party members had an amazing cookbook of all the
Yep.
amazing
A
things around
cookbook.
here.
And a fair few ingredients, weirdly enough. And
Yep.
a spice pouch that's
I've got a meaningful vial of
Maybe
honey.
not use the red arcanite spice.
Oh, why not? I'll use something. It's literally a
It's
magic
very
item spice pouch.
valuable.
And what else am I going to use it for? It charges every day.
But the point, you seem to have gotten yourself accidentally into some sort of rivalry with the local PTA. Would you like to do anything else before we go over to Lou, who is now back?
Apart from looking for ingredients, no.
That's fair.
Unless Fade wants
discussing-
to hijack me before or after the stew.
Discussing around and talking to either your party or the locals, you do eventually find that in the commercial district to the north, small carts are set up with local produce that is imported in from the main farms in one of the other districts for sale, not only to the locals, but any tourists or off-borders, off-ship, I don't know, sailors? What do you call those?
What do
Off-world? Offlanders?
traveler? Just good travelers.
Travelers? Let's go with traveler. I'll figure out what the diet.
Yeah.
God, you come up with a whole cuisine system for the place. You really think about the color, aesthetic, and the cookery scene, but you forget to do language.
Yep. It's fine. Apparently, I know what one of the things Alvina's going to be doing for the next week, teaching the
and
point how to cook.
Yep.
And they're able to find fresh produce up there in those very colorful carts to the north. But with that, let's go over then to Cult Master Lou. You've had a week with your cult on the ship and 3 days getting them acclimated to this. My first question, Lou, before we get into what you've been doing, now that your cultists have been rescued and their primary goal was to escape enslavement and reach empowerment, has your philosophy of your cult adapted into any new what do you call an aspect
Rhetoric?
of an ideology?
Rhetoric?
No, there's something that Civ uses for like adding things to a religion.
Oh,
What is it called?
Tenants?
Tenants. Have you added any new tenants to your religious cult fanaticism? What is the belief of your cult other than just following you?
Don't anger the elf.
What I have done now is, as a parting gift to Assassin,
You are gifted 5 cultists.
I've told my cultists to go under Assassin's tutelage.
Oh no!
The Assassin would take care of them and to do what they said.
Is this apart from your cult leader? Are you keeping them, or are you sending all of them?
I'm gonna keep Brother Bramble.
That was him, yeah. Couldn't not remember his name.
The rest of them, they're under Assassin's tutelage.
Oh, they're not coming back alive.
They're not coming back at all. Like,
So
not
what
even
does that
alive. There's not
mean?
gonna be bodies.
Does that mean the power that's split between does that all go into Brother Bramble then?
He's gonna be a full warlock. Level 5 warlock.
Chris?
No, that's
My
not how that
next
works.
one-shot character.
Just checking.
Although a campaign centered around like a battle royale of like 20 warlocks can only level up by killing each other and becoming the one last warlock is a great idea.
That is.
Oh, a Highlander style
film.
one-shot.
It's a Jet Li
Yes,
film, The One.
Yeah.
No, it's Highlander.
It's kind of the point of Highlander, not gonna lie.
It's also very similar to Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah,
Not seen that yet.
It's good.
I've heard of it.
I
One
watched it over
master.
Christmas.
Yeah, future idea for it'd have to be a series of one shots.
And plus, I don't think
A
Neil's got as
little
much.
mini campaign. A little 4-parter.
Neil
Warlock
doesn't
Quad
have as
finals. Warlock finals.
Neil doesn't have much warlock power anymore, considering he's down to 1.
Yeah, but you don't need to be a warlock to be a patron.
Yeah, it's kind of the
Fair enough.
comedian bit.
It does actually matter for him.
It only mattered for
Ah,
the
so you still have your 20
doesn't it?
cultists if you really want.
Yeah. Technically, the point.
Oh
could
yeah, they're
go
followers now.
Warlock
They're
or
just a
Blackstar.
full NPC of themselves. They will leave if you don't like give them anything substantial to like hold on to. A cult is only as good as its ideology
I'll
and belief
still be able
system.
to keep in contact with them.
Oh yeah, you'll get them back later if you just want to have them like go off and do something for a little bit.
They're going on work experience with Assassin.
But give some thought to that. If you do want to keep and grow your cult, you now have to come up with what does your cult actually believe, and how are you recruiting new people with like what promises? As we all know, a cult pretty much works on promises. What are you
Infinite power.
promising them, and how do you get infinite power?
It works on broken promises.
Yeah, you promise them
Yeah,
infinite power and give them
Christianity.
some weird words that they don't understand, so they think that they're making progress. That's how cults work.
Oh, tell them
Right
they'll
now,
get
they're really
everlasting
happy
life.
because I fulfilled my promise to them of
They
being
left.
free.
Yep, so you need a new promise if you want to keep them. But you can send those off for now. What would Lou themselves like to do then for the couple days that they're in town? What's your main vibe? What is Lou's priorities?
Whilst I was on the ship, I was feeling drained for a bit.
Mhm.
But then I felt much magically stronger.
Ooh.
And once I've got to Bastion, I would like to get a gold horn. It's at least 100 gold pieces. And maybe a glass eye.
A what in a glass eye?
Why a glass eye? Do I want to know?
A what in a
Oh,
glass eye?
components.
It's a component.
Okay.
Components for spells.
Okay, you do so. If you have the money, then you're able to acquire the goods. It takes you a little bit of time to searching, but you're under no time restraints.
How much does a glass eye cost?
Couple of silver, probably.
Depends if you need it to actually be functional
Depends
or
how
not.
you acquire it.
No, Fate
I
just
just
gave
gave one of those.
Fate just gave a light bulb to fuck you. Can that count?
I love it. It has my blessing. You can just immediately give away the heartfelt gift if you want.
Did you expect any less from this group? I did warn you.
No,
I like my
did
gift.
nothing
I'm
wrong.
gonna use
Yeah.
my gift.
Yeah, I've got one for near enough everyone.
So what we've learned so far is that the points needed Alvina's gift.
Yeah, we
Lou
did it.
Lou needed fuck you's gift.
We're gonna get everyone else is gonna need someone else's gift, but
It's just an exchange.
Yeah.
But yes,
Secret
Lou,
Santa gone wrong.
you're able to acquire the materials you need. Is there anything you'd like to do with those, or just things you'll be pottering about within the background?
Just mainly pottering about, wander around town.
No, that's fine.
Find
You do
out about network of the actual portals as well.
what?
He's got transport circle now. You should be finding out about
he?
that, wasn't he? Here.
Yeah, but I don't want to get caught doing something I really shouldn't be.
You're not doing anything illegal by asking about the things now.
Asking them, yeah. I thought you were meaning make my
No,
own.
not
you
me.
just start making a transport circle in the middle of town, just in the street.
There's not going to be any harm of asking about it,
There might be, but 'cause
or
it's
at least
background.
trying to figure out.
Slightly
You c-
inquire
That's something
if
for
I
you to
would
do as
be
well.
able to at least apply for a license.
You do some. And obviously, I already given you some of the information there. You know the consequences
Yeah.
and the risks involved, and acquiring specifically into the license. It's not a secret as to the requirements. It pretty much requires you to have high standing with the rebellion. Due to the risk it imposes, it requires you to effectively have a credit with the rebellion that you are trustworthy and can be trusted with that power because of the risk. And as this is D&D, it is broken down into a effectively monetary cost. Of you either need to be a rank 9 or higher in one of the rebellion. Sorry, not 9, 4, because it only goes up to 5. You need to be of rank 4 or higher in the in one of the rebellion's factions. As there is 5 factions within the rebellion.
Yeah, I was a rank 4. I was a rank 4.
Did you have teleportation circle
Weren't you a rank 3?
though?
Like rank 4s are like lieutenant generals, and you were just a specialist agent.
Yeah, you may have nerfed it and said actually instead of rank 4, rank 3. That
sounds
sounds
about right.
familiar. That sounds familiar, like something you would have said.
Yeah, probably. Who knows?
Mhm.
You either need to be one of the effectively high-ranking members of one of the factions to have enough privilege to say it, or there is a way for non-faction members to apply, but it requires 50 rebellion emblems to pay the fee.
50.
Yep.
Okay. Good to know.
And to be fair, you the quest you previously saw had rewards of 2 to 3, so it's a quite a hefty cost. But
Yeah.
not one that a handful of large tier 3 quests wouldn't be able to get you. Effectively, you need to build up enough of I've helped the rebellion out enough to kind of show that I'm powerful and I could handle a screw up if, enemy factions were to get a hold of my teleportation code and start teleporting armies within the city.
When? Not if.
Hey. Roll on the wild magic table for that.
Yes, you need 50 rebellion emeralds to effectively buy yourself a teleportation circle pass.
Yeah, key, basically.
License to build and operate your own circle. Probably with a bunch of stipulations as to strict confidential and secrecy clauses that you must maintain to make sure that you have vetted every individual who gets access to that circle code.
And probably a Gaius ritual, or whatever they're called. If anyone can cast that in this one.
Make sure, somehow this information isn't ending up in enemy hands. After all, we are in a galactic war here.
There's a reason they're called the Rebellion.
Lou, is there anything else you'd like to do before we go over to Fukyu?
Don't think so.
Fukyu. What is Fukyu's vibe in the town? What is your priority if you've finally arrived in civilization?
Who have you robbed?
Who haven't you robbed?
Yeah. So, well, that was Fucky's plan basically was to try break into this guard tower.
Immediately break into the barracks. First thing.
Are you
Hell
are you a spy? No, but you were breaking into a guard tower. I do that a lot.
I'm serious.
Why are you
It's
breaking into
true.
this? The door was locked.
Give me a rough idea of how you'd like to go about such a feat. Are you attempting to disguise your way through the door, climbing at the exterior, finding a second entrance, bribing your way in, using spells, etc., etc.? Just so I know.
Oh, he's just full on, just gonna try lampshade sneak his way in.
Give me a
Front
stealth
door.
check then.
Front door.
Use the light bulb.
He probably would have been doing this like for the full 3 days.
Trying to break in.
Yeah, just like probably by the 3rd day they've just like fuck you, just go away. Right, let's do stealth. So
Ooh.
nearly in the 20. So nearly.
Yeah.
So nearly. You pick your moment
Mhm.
carefully, precisely. The heartbeat in between patrols entering and exiting the building.
Yeah. So when he gets in there, he's not going to do anything. He's just going to wander around, like probably steal things off people's desks.
Convenience
Nothing-
them.
You're gonna
and
steal
things.
someone's like shoehorn
Yeah.
and boot polish and
He's just going to steal like little knickknacks off people's desks: pens, staplers, rulers.
his doorstop.
Chocolate.
Please
Yeah.
nick someone's doorstop.
And if you stumble across a really nice office and they have a floor lamp with a shade that's slightly nicer than yours, can you swap the two?
Yes.
Or you've now got a collection of lampshades
Lampshades.
for all occasions. Oh, hold on. I'm in a fancy palace. I can't use this wrap.
They're like ghillie suits.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically. It's glamored armor.
Oh, do me a favor, can you please nick one of the training dummies?
Just things that are just lying around that might look semi-important to someone.
Things that are lying around. A guy
That's
asleep
fair.
in his bed.
As you do so,
just
as you manage to make your way through the lower end of the building, or the lower area and entrances of the building, it appears to be kind of clinical in nature, what you might imagine a standard detectives or police offices or guards posting to look like. There are rooms here and there for administration purposes, cloak rooms and storage for easy access to items. A couple, as you get to a second layer, you can find offices and what appears to be almost bullpens of desks and other paperwork for reports and instances. A small jail cell over on the side with 1 or 2 people kind of thinking over a hangover that have probably gone too rowdy in the night. If you spend long enough in here, you'll find a new individual coming in, taken out. The standard workings of a very routine clinical legal system. You find a couple items of noteworthy report. They seem to have sentimental value just judging by their placements upon the table. And as you explore deeper into the area, there's a very subtle shift in decor as you make your way through. You kind of leave what appears to be almost the public front-facing areas of the building and start to get into the areas less populated for comfort. There's not as much pictures on the wall. It's a bit more sparse. They haven't focused as much on more slightly more vivid or brighter colors to kind of blues to calm people down, but a much more stark gray and darker tone. And you can start to see the natural stonework coming into play in the hallways and the rooms that you're poking through, until eventually you come to what must be the center of this large spherical building. By a rough estimate of the fact that you were checking out the perimeter, and you're fairly aware of how many steps you've taken, and you see a red door standing there. It appears to be made of wood, painted. You can see chips peeling off it. There's paleness in the corners and edges. It appears to be an old door. But there's a fascination with the door. It draws your eyes. The color aggravates and excites you. It's a stark contrast to the dark walls around you.
Does it have 4 keys?
When it enrages him, is he a bull? Is it like a very stereotypical bull?
No, he loves fire.
Yeah.
And it's the color of
Ah,
fire.
cool.
Yeah. Fuck you.
As you're staring at it, something catches at the corner of your eye. You see something shift, a movement that sends shivers down your back and sets you on alert. Give me a perception check.
Perception. Not great at that. 19 though.
19. The corridor is dark, but it wasn't a trick of the light. It wasn't even the door. And you vaguely remember seeing it before. You felt the sensation of something watching you, following you for some time now. And there's no mistaking it now. Something is definitely following you. You're not sure what, but you caught sight of it just for a moment at the side of your eye. The details are hazy. You can't quite piece it together, but it almost looked like a shadow following you, moving you.
Oh, he's back.
Fuck you. Fingers his rapier on his hip.
You do so. Nothing happens. You're ready. You can feel the tension in the spring of your heel, ready to move, to dodge, to attack. But nothing comes. The shadow, wherever it is, you can no longer see it as you try to look for it. You can't catch sight of it. But you know it's there. You can feel it. You can feel your skin crawling, knowing it's watching you. You're not sure what it wants.
Fuck you. Keeping like his eye on his surrounding is gonna walk out, start like edging his way over to the red door. Until he's like more or less back up against it.
You do so. You see nothing down the corridor you came. It's quiet. If you listen very closely, you can hear the humdrum of just office life from the big front rooms of the guards tower. But there's nothing around you. You hear no breathing in the corridor with you.
Mm-hmm.
The door is now behind you. What would you like to do?
So, just so I have this in my mind, is the door like on a wall or is it just like standing free by itself?
It is on the wall of a dead end, effectively.
Right.
There is a single brass doorknob in the bottom left corner.
Cool.
Or bottom left side.
Fuck you's gonna knock on the door.
You do so. You hear an echo behind it, as if knocking into a large chamber. You hear nothing else.
He's gonna try open the door then.
The door handle turns slowly. It's heavy, rusty. There's a bit of resistance to the movement. It's not locked as you hear the click. Just old, not well kept. The door creaks open. It bounces around the stone corridor, and as the door swings inwards, the last of the light from behind the corridor doesn't quite pass the threshold of the red door. You see into an inky black void. No light there present to see anything. Your dark vision struggling to see more than 5 foot ahead of you. It's not magical
use the light
darkness.
bulb.
It's just so dark that there's not even a grey scale to see.
It's actual dark. There is no light in there, basically, right? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Cool.
If Fuck You's gotten
You
the
see-
light bulb at this point, then yeah, he will pull it out of his pocket.
Yay! I'm helping. And I didn't even know it.
Yep. You're allowing Fuck You to get himself arrested.
I love when shit like that comes together. I'm really hoping that Chris didn't have this plan. He's just like, you know what, Bob, do it.
But yeah, if I've gotten the light bulb at this point, Fuck You's pulled it out of his pocket and is essentially using it like a torch.
You do so. The moment the light bursts into life, your eyes suddenly are overwhelmed with brightness. Give me a Constitution saving throw. As the sudden intensity of pure dark turns into pure light.
You just flashbanged yourself.
And you are momentarily blinded. You can feel the edges of your eyes drying out to a crisp. It's incredibly uncomfortable. You feel like it will pass after a couple minutes, but it's a couple minutes where a door is open into you don't know what. You don't hear anything. But you are just standing there with the door open into a room that you have not seen yet. What would you like to do? Would you like to wait? Would you like to close the door? Would you like to enter?
Yeah, Fuck You's gonna like feel for the door and like try to close it behind him. So he's in the room.
Oh,
So you're
God,
in
you're
the
in the room,
Yeah.
closing it behind you. Oh my God.
Fair enough. You enter the room. You
Please be a pad itself.
it takes you a couple seconds of
genuinely
padding
terrified.
around. But you find the door. There's no need for a survival check here. It's only a door.
He's right.
You hear it click behind you. And then
Oh no.
you find yourself in the room. Your eyesight begins to slowly come back, slightly blurry at the edges. You can feel water kind of forming on the edges. Your body trying to reclaim its health after the sudden attack.
Flashbang.
Tell me the
And you
door
can make
can't
out
only be open from the other side.
a figure in the room. Yes, there's definitely a blurry shape. Maybe 15, 20 feet in front of you. You can definitely see them. They're small. They appear to be staring at you. What would you like to do? You can't quite make out. You can just see a maybe small-sized creature staring at you.
Fuck You is gonna like raise up his arm and wave.
The creature seems to follow suit. It raises up its arm and waves back at you.
Is it a mirror?
I was about to say it's a mirror.
You don't know. Your eyesight is still blurry.
If it isn't, that's even better. It's the best part.
Like, while he's like regaining his sight, he's gonna like make his way like slowly over to it with his arm out in front of him, just in case it is a mirror.
Yeah. You do so. After
Smash
only
it.
10 foot. Or as you begin taking your steps, the creature begins taking its steps towards you, and after only 10 foot, you find your hand pressed against the cool, hard surface of what appears to be a mirror.
Yay! This is a classic police just mirror room.
Yeah.
You guys got that so quickly. Well done.
Yeah.
We did not. As always in our games together, Chris. I'm just there gasping in the background.
You find yourself your hand pressed against the strange figure that is slowly taking form to be in the shape of not only one but yourself. It's you. You can see your reflection.
Welcome to the mirror world, son.
This is Dad.
Yeah. If Fucky's got his sight back by this point, he's literally just gonna look around just to see if there's like an interrogation room.
Maybe it's a spherical or it's a circular room. It just appears to be hard stone, pale hard stone, and with a semispherical or arched mirror surrounding the top half or the north half of the room. As you look into the mirror, a single red door behind you, and as you look around the room that you're in, solid wall behind you. The door appears to be gone.
Okay.
What would you like to do?
Fuck you. Let down your hair.
Fucky's
What
gonna
window?
yeah, Fucky's gonna like look around for a couple seconds, realize he's trapped, and then just say, "Ah, fuck," and dimension door out, or at least try to.
I need to actually check this one.
That's always a good sign.
You feel the
Per
magic.
jail cell, if they arrested someone who was like a medium level caster, was like, you know what, I can't deal with this today. I'm gone.
You feel the magic swell within you, the circles of power binding in front of you. What color is your arcane casting? It's normally the same color as the caster's eye. What color represents Fukyu?
I mean, I've never really thought about it for fuck you.
Where, have you got a roll? Have you got a what's it called? One of the figures like the rest of us have done? Because you might have done a
Yeah,
colour
I've
in
done,
that.
done a Hero Forge figure.
Hero Forge.
Am I making that shit up?
Let's have a look. Apparently your irises are yellow in the image.
Fair enough. So it's probably like a goldeny, shimmery, yellowy sort of magic then.
What were you saying, James?
I thought they were pink.
What Fukyu's?
Yeah. For some reason, I thought like someone's eyes were pink.
I think that might be yours.
Can't remember what colour I've made them.
I thought they were pink.
I'm looking at the image and it's yellow, so we're gonna go with yellow, a goldeny yellow. As the particles form into circles and burst, you find your body momentarily vanishing from reality before you are very forcefully slammed back.
I mean, I imagined it as like disappearing, then essentially just bouncing off one of the walls.
Boing.
Maybe you can picture that if you want, but either way, you're taking 4d6 force damage, and the spell fails to teleport you. So take 15 force damage.
Ooh.
Ow.
Does it still expand the slot? Yeah.
Yes, it doesn't cancel it. It just says any creature traveling with you, and you take 4d6 force damage, and the spell fails to teleport you.
It's like
You can't tell a
casting-
frag.
Yeah, it's like counter spelling it. They still lose the spot.
Your dimension door has failed. What would you like to do?
Panic.
At this point, Fuggy's probably gonna start panicking a little bit because that's usually doesn't happen.
If magic fails, strength sometimes prevails. Turn into a giant ape and see what happens.
Yeah, smash the walls down.
Um,
That'll go well.
he's gonna try to orientate himself to like where he came into the room, and feel up the wall to see if he can feel like any remnants of the door.
You
mean
know,
investigation check?
The wall slaps you.
I'll fucking tell her as a mimic.
Nope.
Oh,
Not there, mate. It's just the wall.
You said that I could see it in the mirror.
You can, yes.
Oh my god.
Fuck you's gonna try walk into the mirror.
You attempt to. You find yourself pressed against hard, cold glass.
It's a mirror.
It's
It
a
does
mirror,
nothing.
mate.
It feels uncomfortable to the skin. How much would you like to keep pushing?
No, he's not.
The limits.
Can you cast Mage Hand into the...
Nope,
Or try and Misty Step
I've not got Mrs. Step.
towards...
Just stab the mirror and see what happens.
Look
Oh,
at
that
the
can't be
mirror.
good.
7 years bad luck.
I mean,
Oh.
he's
Yeah, but
trapped,
otherwise it's
in
gonna be 70,000 years trapped in a fucking
Yeah.
cupboard.
he's
Um,
trapped in a room with no door, Neil. It couldn't be
How high's your
much
intellect?
worse.
Intellect
Spontaneous
is
combustion.
11.
Not that bright.
No,
You're
fuck
in
you.
mirror already.
If magic doesn't work, he will just be trying to brute force things.
Mm.
They wouldn't be smart enough to look at the mirror and try and go to the door whilst looking at the mirror.
Probably not. No.
Okay.
That was my immediate thought as well. By the
That
way.
was mine as well. Any other character? The party.
Like I say, fuck you. The immediate thing didn't work, so he's going to try to brute force it. He's going to cast Shatter at the mirror.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
And how much slashing damage are you gonna take?
11.
We'll find out.
Thunder
I
damage.
cast Smash Mirror.
Yeah.
Mirror.
And make a massive noise as well.
With a thunderous applause. Oh, also give me a con save, just because you're in a small room and casting this. The mirror, to thunderous applause, breaks in several lines across its surface, shattering. Still in place, it doesn't fall, it doesn't disattach from it, but the entire semispherical wall breaks into 1,000 small shards reflecting back at you. You are still in the stone room, and now you are partially deaf.
But there is there is glass everywhere.
As I'm gonna end the scene there, as Fukyu, staring on, attempting to brute force their way out, can spend as many hours as they would like. But give me a fate die roll. Roll me a d20 for later things.
Okay.
As
Just
you
cut back to
fail to
dinner.
find a way.
Who
Come
heard
back
this?
to dinner on dinner on day
Fuck.
dinner on
I
day
knew it!
yeah.
4.
I knew it!
Fuck you is
That's great.
spending the next 3 days in this room.
He's a permanent fixture in
Yeah,
that.
If you rolled above a 10.
We just cut back to dinner on the ship in 4 days' time, and it's like,
Where's fuck you
It's-
gone?
yeah,
As
I've not
Fukyu-
seen them in like
as
5
hours
days.
turns into days, Fukyu has a new idea pop into their head. Not their own idea. A strange idea. From an entity long ago who once knew the fear of isolation and entrapment. As the paling on the door, the old forgotten chamber, the ill-used corridor, it occurs to you, you've somehow ended up in a mirror jail cell that is very infrequently, if ever, used or visited by anyone.
Mhm.
As we'll come back later to find out what happens to Fukyu, who's accidentally locked themselves up in a jail cell. One they cannot escape.
Call it straight away. The door can only be opened from the
Yeah.
other side. Oh, shit.
Yeah, same. I thought so.
Oh no.
I mean, it's a very fuck you thing to do.
Yeah.
It really is.
Turns out,
I love the way it's
this
gone.
is gonna. I've just realised, fuck, you might die in there.
Yeah,
Might
No,
starve
he
to
has-
death.
He has food.
he's
Yeah,
got
how
some
much?
rations.
Yeah, he's got
Look, that
rations.
door doesn't
can't
look like it's
message
been
any of
used
the
in
party, can
months,
you?
potentially years.
Yeah.
And we can cast locate. Oh, I could cast locate on
It
the
might not
lightbulb.
work.
Not
It
if they're
also
in,
might not
not
work.
if they're not in this dimension.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
and
that's,
actually,
that's what I was
Brian-
thinking. It's like the dimension door didn't work, but it specifically didn't work in a certain way of it's already occupied.
Mhm.
Oh, that's a bad sign.
Look, at this rate, I'm going to be helping break you out next week's session.
We're gonna take a quick 5-second break there. That's the first half of the session. We'll come back in a couple of minutes to see what the rest of the players are doing. While fuck you has I like how you're the only thing that manages to stop you is yourself.
Yeah, that's what I said. The only thing that manages to kill fuck you is themselves. That's what I was thinking. This is how we test their immortality.
It's perfect. It's so perfect.
If you die on session 1 of season 2, after being immortal and barely taking damage in season 1, that would be pretty beautiful.
I mean, it's
And
pretty
Angela-
great.
Yeah.
Although, can we just appreciate the first one to take damage in season 2?
Yeah.
From himself.
Yeah, from himself breaking a mirror.
Yeah.
All I'm going to say is, Fuck You isn't the only character who's disappeared. Assassin's also gone.
Yeah.
No,
Let's see
Assassin's
where the
died-
party's priorities are.
Assassin's
always
died
coming
of
and
lactose intolerance, though.
Yes.
I still have
I know
four
out
more
of
games.
game, we're going to say
Oh,
Fuck
Vina
You, but still.
thinks.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, I'm just looking through my spells just to see if there's anything else that I could potentially do.
I mean,
Oh, do you have
if you summon enough creatures and kill them for the XP, you could level up enough to change your spell.
Yeah, I can't do
And
I could cast Sending, though.
if you're in
Is that-
another dimension, it has a 5% chance of
Yeah,
failing.
I was going to say, it has a percentage to fail, but
Mm.
If you have one way of definitely having either you'll find out about it or not do it to Alvina because she'll just barge straight in. God's probably following her, so you'll get out one way or the other.
yeah. Just, Avena, I'm stuck. What?
In this room, this is the route I took.
It won't take long for us to notice that you're missing.
It's
'Cause-
fuck you though because we don't know where he's gone.
We could be
That's the
looking for
problem.
a lampshade for all we know.
You probably found, there's probably just a lampshade on the boat you think is just fuck you.
Yeah.
You know what? I've got an idea. We just gloss over this and you reappear in the next session anyway, with no explanation as to how you got out for the audience or for us.
Alternatively, I really like the idea of a heist where we all just go in wearing lampshades.
Mhm.
Oh, Alvina's even can light up. We need a fireproof lampshade. Who can find one?
Anyway, I'd say fuck you, but that's kind of the problem.
Yeah, there's
yeah.
not much else I can do. Like,
Yeah, I know. Is what the only other option is literally try to actually brute force your way through the stone wall. Is the only thing I can think of.
but if I'm in a demi-plane, that doesn't really work.
Doesn't work. Yeah. That's what I mean. It's the only thing I can even vaguely think of. Because in certain demi-planes, like if you do enough damage in them or to them, it'll just spit you out.
Yeah.
So that's my thought. That's the only option I could think of at this point.
Oh.
Is either that
Ammo.
or... Wait a minute.
Maybe the
Remember back-
PTA knows something.
No,
Ammo.
I've just thought of... You could try the bag of holding trick.
Oh no!
Please elaborate.
Open
Wait,
another bag of... open another demi-plane in the middle of this demi-plane. Have you got any spells that do that?
No.
Wait, isn't there a teleportation? Do you have teleportation?
No. I've
That's
not
like
got, I've not got
6th or
any
7th level
teleporting
spell.
spells. I've not got any planar shifts. I've
It's
not got
5th
banishment
level.
or anything like that.
Do you have Magnificent Mansion?
Mm.
That's
That's
a
7th.
7th level spell.
Yeah, I
I'll
know it
get
is.
that
I've got-
in 2 levels, I believe.
Yeah, I know it's close. I can never remember when full casters get this, so I play them so infrequently.
While we're waiting, Fade would approach Lou as like, what's Lou getting up to on day 3, having had some of your cultists fuck off?
Intern
Are-
with a squid.
Yeah, are you just taking time out, like in a bar, just like being a cult leader, a religious sect is hard work.
You're getting patted on the back by Brother
Yeah.
Bramble.
I can just picture
taking
you
a
for some reason with a pineapple
bit of a
with a drink
well-earned
inside.
rest.
Mm. Hey, Lou,
Alrighty, everyone.
Yes.
I
Wasn't that fun? We might have our first death of season 2.
And it's fuck you of all characters.
I made you something. I
Alright.
don't know if it will. I don't know if it will help. And I also got you a thing as well. If you don't, I don't. Pass you over 2 items. One just looks like a regular rope, and one is what looks to be like an oval, like a bowl. This you wear on your head. It's a hat. It keeps thoughts. Assassin told me it keeps external thoughts out of your head.
Tinfoil, isn't it?
It's a tinfoil hat, yeah.
Yeah.
And this rope, if you cut it up and push the ends together, it automatically, because you keep on losing the rope for some reason.
Thank you. That's
I'm sorry,
very thoughtful of you.
I'm sorry I couldn't help you more with your problem.
It's no problem. Rope's always good.
Or kidnapping for cultists.
Liberating them.
All right, as we
I'm 100%.
get back into it. Everyone here?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so 3 days pass, and you all go about your various little duties. Fukyu disappears after the first day.
Mm.
Assassin disappears after the second day. And Fade, was there any more goodbyes you had to do? Because I quite like the irony of you disappearing on the third day.
I do have a couple more. I can do them all right now.
We can lottery them in. It doesn't have to be chronological. But
Yeah.
for canonically, Fade gets his request to come get a debrief after the third day. Because I like the irony of just one person disappearing each day.
Yay!
We can do them for flashback, like things, reasons. And that gives me
As
more
long as it's
opportunity for-
in the session, because the whole point of reducing numbers is to not split the screen time.
I know.
But yes, we get to the third day, and let's quickly check who was staying where. We already know Fuki's going to be staying in a jail cell, but who's staying on the ship and who's actually like, renting a room in town?
I'd be on the ship.
Alvina will either
Depends
be
on the ship.
Alvina will be either on the ship or she'll have found a comfortable tree somewhere and have fallen asleep in it, possibly while eating something. So
Point will be vaguely near Alvina.
yeah.
If Alvina is in a tree, they will go and find a tavern nearby.
Aren't you sleeping in a pile with all your animals, Alvina? I mean,
That's on some of the days. I'm just in a pile of fire bunnies and deer at some point.
It would still be in the ship.
Where did the point say they were going to be?
A tavern near Alvina.
By Alvina.
Near Alvina, but in a tavern rather than in the wild.
I can roll a fate to see if Alvina's today staying on the ship or in a outsider if it's a need to be somewhere thing. Cause it'd be funny.
No, mostly to beg Alvina for cooking lessons.
Yeah, which you'll be happy to provide.
That's fair. There isn't really any nature around here, so to say. Even all the like little parks and stuff are still pretty urban if you're looking for somewhere more secluded. Given that you are in a giant cavern.
She's not that bothered by it being secluded. She's just like, this is a tree. She basically will have jumped into a tree to like just have a lie down and just be eating and will fall asleep. That kind of thing.
No, that's fair.
Yeah.
I don't think actually. Does it matter? What do I got planned? No.
No, okay.
Once you get a rough idea of what all the characters are actually doing to fill out their little flashbacks. On the fourth day, you each get an appearance from your union clerk.
Clerk.
You get a visit from your union clerk. As he'd probably go to the ship first, and he can track down those off the ship afterwards, because pretty much his duty to be able to find people relatively quickly. As coming up the gangwalks, as people are waking up and going about the ship, I imagine that you're still doing your morning duties of checking riggings and just part of the ship life. You've gotten into this routine of every morning going through the checklist, make sure the ship's okay, making sure everything is ship shape. Doing some horse yoga on the deck.
Horse yoga.
And for those who are on the ship on the morning of the fourth day, you see this small, very book nerdy little gnome with these small spectacles and this kind of large tome in one hand and a very kind of poofy white linen shirt with a little waistcoat. Coast. It's a Friday, everyone. Welcome back to D&D Alterra. His hair tied back in a bun. A few small strands kind of equally displaced to his left and right, kind of framing his face. He's got quite a round, clean-shaven face as he waddles up to you.
Oh my god. You just did the most stereotypical clerk physically possible, didn't you?
Yes, I did, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. I think this is one of the first.
Tell me his name is Clark.
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 Don't be silly. You already know his name is Norman.
Norman! Yep, that's the one.
And
I thought it would be Kent. Kent the
No.
clerk.
No, it's
Norman
Norman
Kent.
Kent.
It's Norman Kent.
Changing his last name. It's Norman Kent now.
I'm going for Gwent, not Kent. What the fuck's Kent here?
It's like, Gwen, yes. Not you.
I'm after Gwent, sorry. Kent, why are you here? Oh, yeah. Me. Gwent, where are you?
Is it Kent?
Yes, it's Kent. He's here. Here. And you the weapon you gave me. It has the charges of the spell you requested.
Oh, thank you. Wow.
Have you seen Fuck You?
Last time I saw him, I think he was staring at his murder board.
He has a murder board?
Of course he has a murder board.
I mean,
You know,
does he not let you in his room?
No.
Okay, in his room, he has got a murder board.
Okay, I will have words with him later. But have you seen him? I need to. I was talking with a goblin. I don't know if they speak common or not. They just gave me some weird eye wiggles. I was hoping that you have them come along if they only speak goblin.
Well,
and have you seen my gun?
Okay, well,
actually,
two things. Firstly, can I do an inside check to see if Zormir was actually flirting with the goblin?
I'll leave that between players.
27! Was he?
He doesn't know himself.
Yeah, I was saying Zormir doesn't know.
Okay, and I speak goblin.
Oh, cool. You can come with me, but it's a little shit anyway.
I mean, have you checked your safe? He might be trying to break in.
There's just no money left in it and he's gone.
No, he has most of the money anyway. That's the way I know. That's how I know he doesn't steal anything from me. I let him keep a hold of most of the money, so therefore he doesn't steal mine.
Pre-stolen.
Yes,
I'm not sure if that's genius or just.
Idiocy.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the two, but which way it goes, you know.
It's a fine line.
There's a very fine line between genius and stupidity most of the time.
You've seen the revolver. It seems to.
Do Alvina's got it. Say that. Say you saw her walk out with it.
I mean, the one that doesn't work, Alvina's was using as a nutcracker. Does that count?
What the fuck? Where is she? Sorry, we'll get back.
He shrugs.
Follow the
Click is
screams.
consistently trying to
Okay.
get your attention in the background as you
Okay.
ignore him.
Since you'll need all of us, let's go find the rest of them along with. You can. Do you know where the rest of them are? Looking at him, desperately trying to get her attention now.
Who attention are you trying to get?
Norman.
Gnome who's trying to get
Norman.
Zoma's attention. This is
Nor-
a attention
Yeah.
off.
Norman Kent, and it's
Or-
him. As he. Oh, finally, you're paying attention to me. Good, good.
I was paying attention the whole time. I just choose to ignore you because I'm trying to figure out things.
You know, I'm
I
on a
have-
tight schedule. I have other appointments. You're not
Oh,
the
you think I've
only
not?
assignees that I have. Look, you might be new here to Shadow Cove, but when a request is made, generally you accept the request and let me get on with my duties.
And you think these people let me get on with my duties as well?
Look, just because you are an inadequate captain who cannot handle the chaos of their own ship and does not make me...
Okay, let's just. I will take you up your job. You take up my job for a day, and let's see who actually survives it.
He stares at you with such stark horror at the idea. And be a lowbrow
What did they-
captain!
You don't want the job. You don't want the job. It is a
Behind-
mistake.
No,
Take the
no.
job.
We'll go and find the elf, and that'll prove it on its own.
You think so little of me that I would demean myself by lowering my rank so heavily?
Yes.
Right up in his face.
I am an associate assistant to Miss Grancelli herself.
And
You know what
don't
sort of
think I have
prestige
some
that
importance?
holds?
I
I keep the world running.
I'm Dr. Zormir. I'm trying to bloody well save your world, so don't give me your lip.
Yes, yes, you and every adventuring captain. I'm sure you're making great contributions and you're pillaging and killing.
He's very lucky that I'm not on the ship right now.
I'm trying to actually make it a bit better for the Noids as well.
Point.
Oh, why would you? The city is perfect.
Point. We found the main ingredient for your stew in the competition.
I don't think what the main thing was going to be.
Less of your lip and let's move. Because if you say anything more that irritates me, you might find out how my thunder punch works. Since I've been
You will
working
find
on
out
it.
what kind of capital offense striking a clerk entails you.
Oh, do you really want me to unleash the elf on this city? Without a hint of fucking doubt or any in his eyes. Looks at
For a
him and
moment, you
says,
see a shadow pass over Norman's eyes. His normally blank demeanor now turned to very stark seriousness. Are you threatening the operations of this city?
no, I'm merely pointing out that this is going fucking nowhere and let's move.
My answer
Good.
to
I
that kind of
don't
is
care
no, I'm
about the
threatening you.
operation of your city. I know it's
Just
working
going to
damn well.
grab Zormir by the front of his arm and start dragging him. Nope, nope. You've no more talking to the nice man. You've had enough. Come on.
Norman follows over, and you hear his voice now return to normal. The seriousness from it gone back to a more grey tone volume
The
and
clerk voice.
the clerk voice. Reports indicate that the two of your allies are currently staying in the shanty town, whose name Crystal hasn't given yet. I need to give an actual name to these little zones.
Shadow block.
Nah, it needs to be something slightly different from the actual name of the district. But anyway, they're over at in you can't have districts within districts. This is the problem with making things districts, Chris.
Ambrable.
They're over in the inn hamlet.
In Hamlet.
Okay, well, let's move.
I mean, I don't see why you need to
I
come
thought
with me. I can deliver the message to them separately.
I
It'll be
need
far
to
more
talk to them.
efficient.
I need to talk to them anyway, so we're going that way. So deliver the message to us and them at the same time. There's your even more efficientness. Bloody bureaucrats.
Gonna be
Was- I
walking
could-
in between them both.
I'm
There's
sorry.
There's quite a height difference as well. One's a gnome, one's a, like 5'10" shifter, and you're a giant centaur.
Yeah, so I'm a good walking wall. It's fine.
Alright, it
Would
was-
you like to take the walkways, or would you like to pass through the warehouse zone?
Go for the warehouse zone.
Very well. You avoid the hustle and bustle of tourists and shoppers and travelers as they walk above in the high rung walkway above you as you slink your way through the shadows underneath through the warehouse zone. And eventually find yourself kind of taking a U shape around the district itself. Finally find yourself in the small, noisy, and bustling residential area of the more low and laborious class within the settlement. Eventually, you find your way to the inn that you were previously told the point was staying at, and manage to find the point. The point, well, how are you awake? Do you sleep in? Are you having breakfast? Well, how do they find the point?
Normally, the point sleeps in. At the moment, the point has somehow insinuated their way into the kitchen and is attempting to practice cooking. If they would let the point into the kitchen.
With the instructions that Alvina's given you so far, essentially,
Yep,
while she's
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're part bard. I feel like bards just inevitably end up getting free stays if they entertain.
Entertain.
Yeah,
Yeah,
charisma.
Yeah, I say it's usually free food and board.
Yeah,
I'm
they give
making the
they-
food this time, so
They watch with a curious and enjoying eye. Curious to see if you
I've just
if your
realised-
cooking is as good as your performance is.
I've just
It is
realised
not.
I legitimately have that ability, by the way, where I can get free lodging and board.
yeah, so do I.
I didn't realise that. Yeah, I forgot about that.
You just sleep outside wherever you go.
Yeah, but it's fun. I can do whatever I want.
You're the only you're able to walk into any city and find yourself undisturbed by sleeping on a bench.
True.
No policemen come along and scurry you away.
Well, that's the point found. So now, shall we try for Alvina? I'm just gonna hold a plate of bacon out of the window.
Now, there's-
Mr. Bastion, you are also cordially invited to dinner with Granzelli this evening, if you so do accept.
Alvina, there's food involved.
You can see Alvina out the window because Point did say they were staying nearby.
There's no need to shout. Miss Alvina, was it, is currently sleeping in a tree in Central Park.
If I mention food, she'll get here in 2 seconds.
You can see her out the window. She's asleep on the upper branches of a tree. Like the bottom of the tree's got loads of kids and people just pointing up. She's snoring loudly, and there's fire coming out of her mouth each time. She's got a fire-breathing rabbit, also asleep on her stomach.
Spell public menace.
I believe it's literally, if you click on Discord on my name, that is how, because it literally says roll public menace.
Yes, so our report said, so long as she keeps her activities away from the infrastructure, she'll be fine.
She's not damaging anything important, essentially.
Have you just added in our
I imagine
title to
the
your
point would
list?
emerge with whatever he's cooked to offer to Alvina.
No, I've not had
The
another
point
child.
have chef proficiency or cooking proficiency.
Absolutely not.
It's fine, neither does Alvina.
Go ahead and roll me a.
Survival check, I guess.
No, this is for the points cooking. Let's see how well they cook. You know, they got to practice. It would be an intelligence check at disadvantage.
Hey, good at those.
See how well this baking or this cooking is going. What are you making, or what are you at least attempting to make the point?
At the moment, I think it's going to be scrambled eggs,
Scrambled eggs.
but with some like bacon on top.
Okay, they're not the best scrambled eggs, but they're passable. You rolled a 10. You know what? There's an artistry to eggs that you haven't quite crafted. But hey, they're edible and not too bad if you say so yourself.
They're a little burnt, but they're all right.
Yeah, but there's
Partial
no
burnt.
salmon.
My main weapon is a flamethrower. I'm kind of yeah.
Maybe not flambe them so
I'm
much.
not sure, but I've got time to learn before the competition.
Competition?
Oh, I've gotten in with some experienced adventurers here, but I need to make them a stew, and I don't know how to cook, so Alvina's teaching me.
Alvina's teaching you.
You all eat Alvina's cooking. She's not too bad.
Okay.
It's not much, but it's warm.
It's very warm. That's the main key of Alvina's cooking.
You do know that she uses a lot of spice in her meals because she's got a spice pouch to maybe cover up some of the burns of the dish.
Yes, part of the plan is to have a stew that tells the story of traveling with Alvina. So burns are kind of part of it.
Okay,
Burnt-
tell
it's
me
burnt
how
an
in
empty
blood.
bowl.
It's just nails in it.
Tell me how you're going to make a dish primarily caused of chaos.
Well,
I have.
you know how Lou sometimes has wild magic
His
surges?
ears prick up.
You
at the
you want to
mention of his
put
name.
lose wild
No,
magic?
no, no. Just a metaphor. A metaphor. That's put into a bowl.
Lou, do you think you could put a wild magic surge into a bowl?
I could try.
Right, it's another ingredient down.
Okay. You want some ground up? Well, yes, you can get ground up Arcanite of Alvina at least as
Yeah.
well.
Have you got any other flavors? Might be good to mix it up.
I've got
I
a
do-
fireworm.
Oh yes, we also have a. Don't we have any of the flesh or the stuff that we killed off those cave worms as well?
That's a rock, I think.
Rock.
I do have some of that, but that is literally a rock.
Oh, grind
Salt.
some of the rock into it as well.
I
But what
did.
kind of
That-
what? We killed some of those boars. Do we have any of that meat left?
No, I ate it.
I have some. I have some honey, which I'm going to use like 2 drops of.
Honey, will
It's,
work.
it's honey with emotional importance. Couple
I
drops
have
honey.
I have a vampire fang.
That one I don't think is edible.
No, but presentation.
No, I need it for threats.
Why do you want the
Presentation
threat?
because,
It's
the
Junior.
point.
It's
Oi.
Junior.
Oi, Alvina,
Yeah.
gun. Give me.
Give me a sec. Where'd I put it? And I just like jump down from the tree and pick up the gun that's definitely just fallen on the ground beneath the tree. And
Why
it's
did you take it in the first place?
I was using it.
For cracking nuts.
Well, and other things.
What else have you been hitting it with? Let me see. Give me it here now.
I got it back. It's covered in dents. There's some weird, like, red liquid on it, which is now stained to part of it.
Is it just really sticky?
No, it's not sticky. It's like, it looks like someone was bludgeoned to death with it, but it doesn't smell like blood or a pit. It looks like blood, but it's definitely not blood. Hey. Nice.
No damage.
Yeah.
But you get. I'm
Yeah.
making sure I hit you. Your focus is definitely on me. Brother. You damage any of my artificery again, I will do more than just hit you.
You weren't fixing it. Put it as encouragement.
It was to be used in a trade.
Oh, you can use it.
I
I've added flavor to it.
don't know. They might like it to the goblin as well.
Oh,
It's unique now.
yep. It's got
Speaking of-
character.
I thought fuck you was with you guys.
No, he's gone somewhere. I don't know where he is. Have you seen them?
No.
Uh,
I saw
I
him
see
on
you've
the
got. I
first
see
day
you've
by the-
replaced him
I saw
quickly
him-
enough,
Yeah, I saw him on the
gesturing
first-
at Norman.
Yeah, I saw him on the first day
They're not
staring at their
replacement.
murder.
One telling there are liaison to this place.
Oh,
Oh,
I'm
you're
so
the
sorry,
holiday.
sir.
Oh, you're the holiday rep again. Hi.
Yes, I don't shake hands.
It's probably
That's
at
good,
this
I'm not
point,
offering.
it's probably at this point Alvina gets a little voice in the head.
Avina, I'm a bit stuck.
Well, now, hold on. How are you doing this, buddy?
He's asking for
Sending.
sending.
Now, I believe sending has a probability of failure of going across
Yep.
dimensions, does it not?
Mhm.
Roll it.
Well, he's at least casting it.
Yeah.
What's the thingy?
It's a 5%, so D100, like, get a 1 to 5, it failed.
Oh, same
I
with
guess.
D20.
Oh, roll a d20. If you roll a 1, you're fucked.
Oh, is it a D... Oh, I get D20 works.
That's a 5%. I might as well just do it.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Well,
hey.
All right, now you can go ahead with your message.
Yeah. So
Mm.
he goes, sends a message through going, I'm kind of stuck in the guard's tower in like a mirror room thing. I broke the mirror. Can't get out. Help.
I literally, Alvina just, like, mid talking to her, goes, like, finger in the air, and then one finger on her ear, like, listening. He goes, right, I know where he is.
Where?
I need one of my tracking animals.
Where are they then?
They locked themselves somewhere in the guard tower, and they're trapped.
Ah!
I don't know. I'll go and fetch them back. Are there any like random freaking like those massive number of animals that I stole from that are all fire imbued?
Firefox.
Yeah, there was a fox in there, right?
Yeah, Firefox is a classic.
Yeah. I basically just gonna try and have the Firefox get the scent of fuck you and basically follow it to where it's going and so find it.
Ooh, this would have been after 4 days in a heavily dense, populated area. Go ahead and give me a survival check, and this is going to be a low DC and a disadvantage for population density.
Okay. Do I?
Sorry, this is going to be a really high
I was
DC.
gonna say.
I was about to say low
Nice.
DC. I'm kind of impressed.
Yeah.
Do
I was
I
kind of
have
confused
anything
about that.
Do I have anything that can help here? Because I might. Just checking.
Guidance from anybody?
I mean,
Yeah,
you
if someone
probably
can
go
use
to-
guidance.
I was gonna
Or
say you probably
inspire.
You can have a bardic inspo,
Okay, I'll take a bardic inspiration.
which is D8 now,
D8, and it's still got the reroll.
Or,
and it's still got the
actually,
reroll.
block.
Yeah.
I'm not there. I have nothing.
Did you say it had disadvantage?
Went here.
Disadvantage because of its urban environment.
I'll give you guidance as well. Why not?
Disadvantage. So it's a D8 and a D4 added. 12. So 7.
19.
First roll. 1d4. 1. 20.
Hey,
Right, it worked.
20.
It takes a little bit of time to kind of pick up the scent, and just to try and track it through town and kind of get really used to the slight subtle nuance underneath just the constant overlayer of all these smells and spices and oil and all the scents mixing and mingling in such a dense, populated urban environment. But through sheer determination, experience, and a little bit of luck, you're able to finally track the smell up to the doors of what you've come to know is the Central Guard station for this district.
Okay, so I walk right up to the door with my little fox perched on my shoulder. And go, hi, to whoever's on the door, if there's a guard there.
There won't be a guard on the door, but as you enter, as you grab one of the guards coming or going, they'll give you their attention.
Really sorry about this. I need to get into the guardhouse. Apparently, there's a friend of mine who managed to lock himself in like a weird mirror room you've got somewhere in there. I'm gonna make to collect him and get him out.
Oh, aye.
Apparently.
Oh, he'll be in one of the. Well, how did he get himself locked in a mirror jail?
I
Or
have,
mirror cell?
I have, gonna be honest, I have no idea.
Give me a persuasion check.
I don't think he believes me, guys.
Do you know how many times I've heard that exact story?
Really?
Look, your friend got drunk, he ended up in the drunk tank. It's fine. He'll be out once his time is up. You can't bust him out.
No, I don't think he got drunk.
No, sure. He was alcoholically liberating himself.
You've never actually seen
Whatever you want to
drink.
call it.
No, we
Have
have.
you?
We have seen you drink.
Have we?
The Firebeard guy.
Oh yes. I remember
Yeah,
that.
we have actually seen you drink.
Look, my advice: let your friend sober up.
Can you
Let
do...
him do the time for whatever crime he's being convicted on.
Alvina,
I'm sure he'll be released at the
Alvina,
proper
do you want
time.
me to talk to them?
Now, I just want... Can you do me a favor and check that someone called Fuck You is on there, at least? Because if he's on the list, then yeah, he'll come out in a couple of days.
Sure.
Yes,
He
but-
gives you a wink.
mean,
I'll definitely
who
do
could,
that. Have a good day, ma'am.
Excuse me, officer.
Yes?
Officer, I know the lingo, I know the speak. My friend wouldn't come over here if it wasn't true.
Oh, you're with her?
Yes.
Right, and you're gonna tell me some story about how your friend shouldn't be in the jail cell.
No, he probably should be. I'm going to be honest.
No.
That's fair
Murder-
enough. It's just we think he got accidentally locked himself in one.
Sure, he accidentally came into a police station, stumbled his way into a jail cell, and got himself locked in. Because that definitely happened.
No, he definitely didn't accidentally walk in. He definitely intended to walk in. Probably locked himself in by accident, though.
Oh yeah,
He's a
he
hilarious
definitely
person.
closed the door behind himself and locked himself in the.
Yeah.
Hear
Listen.
yourself.
Sure.
Have you lost any
Sure.
knickknacks recently?
He's
Have
a
you
little
lost-
shit. He's a little shit of a goblin who likes to inch things that mean things to people.
Wait. Are you insinuating that your goblin friend might have got himself locked in while trying to steal things from the station?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Well,
You do know
he
the
got
punishment
locked in a jail cell while attempting theft.
during theft of administrative objects is a capital offense
Is it?
that can result in over 50 years imprisonment.
Probably, yeah. But
that
the thing
sounds
is-
better than
what's
this
he-
current
He
situation.
doesn't seem... If he's locked in accident in some random room that he hasn't been fed in 3 days, I think he'll take the 50 years imprisonment rather than 3 days and dead.
Is
Also,
it
I
theft
mean-
if it's still
we
on the
could go and
premises?
apologise to Lady what's her name that he can't be coming to dinner tonight.
I'll have you know it's theft if it in any way impedes the administration and efficiency of the dock system.
I don't think he didn't.
Yeah.
So,
It
So-
has the highest punishment on it.
excuse me, sir. So, it is theft if it impedes the running of the dock system. Would say someone not making their very important meeting with
What's her name, Mr. Clark?
what's her name? Yeah.
We've definitely brought along.
Norm's just standing there with a sigh. Miss Grancelli. That Grancelli.
Grancelli.
Would missing a meeting with Miss Grancelli constitute, interrupting dock work?
In the most monotone voice ever. No.
Oh,
Right.
well, in that case, good luck. I'm off.
I'm just grabbing a different guard.
This guard's just watching you as you are you trying to grab a guard like in front of him?
Yeah, 100%.
This guard's just like, what? Getting slightly annoyed now. What? Ma'am. At this point, you're breaching the peace. You cannot keep harassing guard members.
I'm being
with
harassed by this
wild
guard.
tail. I am a guard.
You're harassing me.
It is not possible for me to harass
Yes,
you.
You currently are. I don't want to talk to you anymore. And you're insisting on
just
it.
had an
This is
idea.
assault.
The new guard's just looking between you and him. Is she drunk? Should we lock her up in the drunk tank?
Believe it or not, I don't drink actually. I say literally straight faced this guard who I'm now talking to.
This new guard is now looking at you. Ma'am, we're gonna need you to calm down
I am calm.
and remove yourself from the premises. You are disturbing the order.
Can I at least come in and check that he's not causing
Live.
He's alive, not causing.
Right, you want us to let you into the restricted area off the station so that you can check cells. Yep, definitely gonna allow you to do that.
You can come with us.
No, we're not going to allow you to do that. We have no reason to allow you to do that.
You have no reason.
Oh, I'm meaning, can I check the books to see if there's goblins on the record or something?
No, we're not going to let you check our private books.
Why not?
Okay, you're not very good cops at not giving us
This
information
isn't
on.
publicly available information. You don't get to know this at request.
Okay,
Why
this
not?
police station's a bit different from.
Just sneak in while we're distracting them.
I was wondering if someone was going to do that. Yeah, we're being very obvious here, guys.
I start
Who's got an
to
idea?
I bit my lip because I was about to blurt out from our Alterra, but
You need to stop giving people too much information about us, Zombie.
I bit my lip at that point and says, "My precinct, sorry, different. I'm sorry, different.
Kind of gives you a strange
have
look.
different works. It just seems a bit.
Sir, I think it's the sir under the armor.
It's a doctor.
Yes.
He's a doctor.
Doctor.
I
doctor.
dropped the helmet down so
I
you can.
just thumbs up to the guy, doctor.
You can see that there's a very serious tone now to his voice.
Yes.
Are you trying to inform me that you are a guard from a different district? And do note, impersonating a guard is also a highly punishable offense.
Not from this place, from a different
Not from this
settlement.
city. Not from this city at all.
Are you a guard from one of the frontier settlements?
Frontier settlements? No, I'm from a private settlement.
Private.
Is Salvos one of those?
Smaller than this place. I'm not.
It sounds to me like
I have certain
that
information.
you
I
have
can't
no
divulge.
legal authority here.
I know.
I've got her name. Who's
I
who's
just.
the daughter of the thingy travels?
Abby.
Abigail.
Abby. Yeah, is Abby here?
Probably.
Abby is the guard from a frontier settlement.
Abby has requested a couple days leave to visit extended family members in the
That's
town.
fair. That is fair, yeah.
Okay,
Because, gotta rotate these NPCs in and out.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
fair enough. Then.
Fine. If you don't think he's here or there's no one of that record, I will not press any further. But I was just. Can I at least file a report to say that one of our colleagues is missing then?
And that you're harassing me.
Certainly you may. Just please address or please contact your representative from the dock union and they will file the
He's right
appropriate
here.
paperwork.
There. Do you want to fill in some paperwork for us to request that one of our colleagues is missing?
I did that 5 hours ago.
Thank you.
Oh, thanks. All right. Well,
Job done.
we may not get the result that we're looking for, but I'm going.
We quite done with this inefficient sidetracking.
I'm sorry. This is what it's like living with these people.
Yeah.
This is why I said your job is a little easier than mine.
At this, you see his face begin to grow a little bit red, and you can see him kind of like getting a little bit more tense. You insult me!
No, that's how he normally talks.
I've had enough of this constant tomfoolery! You have all been
think I
cordially
haven't.
invited
Oh.
to the manor of Miss Crancelli,
Ooh.
mayor of the town council,
Thank you.
this evening.
Oh, thank you.
Please
Where is-
dress formally.
I
And
am.
I'll see you there! As he storms off.
Thank
Have a nice
you.
day.
Goodbye. Don't come
he
back
wasn't very
anytime
nice.
soon.
I don't know. He seemed quite reasonable to me.
There's another
Uh,
bureaucrat who does my head in.
Was Gwen wanting to stealth away, by the way?
I would have wandered away to get a coffee, then come back.
Yeah.
It
Who has
occurs
an
to you.
idea though?
Yeah, it occurs to you as you flash back to earlier in the day where you were just sort of chilling with, or the couple days previous where you were chilling with Fade, that they took the opportunity. They said that I was going to give this to the point to go with their tattoos, but it will help you because you're always scared. It will help you be less scared.
Okay.
It's
What is it?
it's like a small hand tattoo. It means you can get into places more easily. It allows you to cast Disguise Self on yourself once per day. You're a good person, Gwent. I think if I'm not going to pry into your past. I don't particularly care enough. But in a good way.
I'm
Shut
not
up,
being
Lou.
nosy.
In
I don't care what happened to you
nosy way,
before.
not
To
in
be
a
honest,
I don't care
really
about you
give a
way.
shit.
I do care about you.
Good.
But yes, disguise yourself once per day. Either to get into places or to get out of them.
I think to get out will be the best. And Gwent
Also-
is going to start to really ugly cry and give Fade a big hug.
Oh,
Aw.
you know what? Fade hugs you back.
It gives you everything in the will.
I give you everything. Oh, I also found these, and I don't eat, or I don't need to eat. But they came in on that ship over there that we were unloading, and they look like big stalks, almost like bamboo. I hand you one, and I go to sort of cut around the edges of another, and I start chewing on it. I do the same for you. It's sugarcane basically, or a big stick of rock.
Nice.
Hell
Thank
yeah.
you for everything, really.
Being the nice one.
Thank you for not shouting at me. Thank you for not blowing me up. Thank you for always being there.
I'm going to give you another hug, and when I'm hugging you, I'm going to cast Greater Restoration.
Just watch whatever the equivalent of
on you.
the sunset is.
Just to give you a bit of positive energy.
Ooh. At that, could I sort of, like, my eye does a thing where it's like shoots off, like, into the sky so that we can both see them, all the incidences where the professor and Fade and maybe certainly all the incidences of the professor and Gwent, and maybe some of the other party members as well. All the happy moments they shared together before Fade lost their memories. Doesn't restore everything, but starts to restore certainly the professor's memories. Yeah, and we just watch them.
Jeez.
So this is what friendship is like. Good horse.
Mowing down on the sugarcane.
And then we can flash back to the present again.
Nice.
Who says
We're actually going to
group?
flash sideways
Oh,
to the
Who says
center
the
of a
The-
stone room.
what
what are you thinking?
and
Who says to the rest of the group, "Give me 10 minutes. I've got an idea."
When the guards are
Fine,
bugging
fuck
off,
you.
right? When the guards are bugging off, right?
They're at earshot. Like,
Mm.
give me 10 minutes. I've got an idea.
Okay.
We'll come back to you in 10 minutes. But first, we go to fuck you. How many rations do you have on your person, fuck you?
Probably not many left.
It's one per day.
I mean, I started off with 5.
Let's assume that you've been having to use them, and you've got 2 or 3 left. You've been splitting them. You've been you're a smart adventurer. You know how the
Rationing
deal.
the
You've been
rations.
rationing your rations. So
Yeah, if
you've
they're-
you've
if
used at
they're
least
like-
half of them by now.
Yeah, I mean, if they're like for full-size medium creatures, Fucky's only small as well.
We
You live on pure spite, so you don't need as much food.
Unfortunately, we'll say that though without full rations, you haven't gained the benefit of a long rest or anything, because got to keep it to adventuring session.
Okay. Oh, I've just realised I've still got the explosive charges from the mines. in my bag.
Oh my god! You do! You
And
have
the
a bomb!
I've
fireworks.
got like 300 pounds of them.
So you've got 300 pounds of Semtex, essentially. That was going to
Basically.
kill you, by
Yeah,
the way.
Fuck you, like,
What are you
put it out of his
talking
bag
about?
And be like,
Putting explosives in a circular room with no ventilation. That's only I think it was
20
like
feet across?
it's 20 feet because of, it looked longer because of the mirror. It was only about 15 feet to walk to the mirror, so it's a 15-foot
Round.
diameter. It just looks bigger because of the mirrors reflecting half of it.
yeah, Fucky would have pulled them out of his bag of holding, looked at them for a good, like, 5 minutes before putting them back, thinking, no, that'd probably kill me.
It's like, that is the last resort. That is just before starvation sets in. That's
Yeah.
what you try.
But no, he probably would have been like, just thinking through his spells and what he's got in his bag. So he probably. Actually, I've still got 3 clay walls. I could put them right next to each other. Put the Semtex
I thought we
on the
used
other
them.
side. We used a couple, like 1 or 2 of them.
I thought we used all of them because we tombed in the demon with a bunch as well.
We did, didn't we?
That's why I think, because I had
Mm.
clay walls and I went, I just don't think we have any of those left because it was on my couch sheet still. But I think we used the remaining
As
ones.
we flash over to a wall of clay currently entombing the Piper Demon.
Yeah.
Oh, Piper Devil.
Devil, not a demon. Yeah.
There is no such thing as demons in this world.
Yet.
Got a couple of crowbars, got candles.
Well, while you're doing that, may I also remember you closed the door that brought in the light. And you can currently only see 5 foot in front of you. Are you lighting up anything to bring yourself light in the room?
I've got the light bulb that Faye gave me.
And are you keeping it on? Is that a permanent light bulb? How does that light bulb work, Fade?
Yeah.
Where's it getting the electricity from?
How's it staying lit up?
Lemons. Oh, it's the potatoes.
It's potato powered
Pure
light.
spite. It's
It's-
powered by pure spite.
It's a
Guys,
light.
it's a spell. It's the cantrip light.
It lasts an hour.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh right, yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
cantrip light is a
Sorry.
permanent light, mate.
Then
It's just
then
the fact that it's a cantrip, so you can keep casting it. Is what makes it permanent.
then I have the spell Continual Flame. I will just expend a 2nd level spell slot to do that. Continual Flame inside the thing. And it doesn't give off. It gives off light.
Yeah.
Doesn't give. It's not a real fire. You can't burn yourself. And it works actually much better because you're enamored with fire.
Yeah, it works.
Oh, it's just my pocket fire.
So it's Hermione's jar of fire. Okay.
Now, of course, I also have to remind you that there is currently dozens upon dozens of shattered reflections staring back at you, and as you wait out the hours turning to days, the period of time begins to slip you. You've slept a couple times, never fully resting. The slight hunger that is gnawing at you, not unfamiliar for adventurers. You've all at some point in your life had to go a couple days without rations or food or lying up in bed dying.
I mean, Fucky probably would eventually get the idea of looking, like, finding a big bit of mirror picking it up, looking into it, and then like walking backwards towards the door.
You attempt to. Oh, none of the mirror pieces came off the wall. It shattered in the wall. It appears to be
Oh.
stuck there.
Yeah, but could he not like
Peel it
prise
off with his rapier,
Or,
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
spider web crisscross.
Is there a bit that I could like pry off the wall?
Give me a strength check.
Strength check. Okay.
Can you use a crowbar to get advantage?
Yeah, you have to have a crowbar on you. Yeah.
I've got
He
a
does.
couple crowbars actually. So let me roll that again.
17's pretty good though.
Oh, that's better.
19!
19's better.
It takes you a while, a lot of straining and pushing and sweat dripping down the bead of your neck. But eventually, after you huff and puff, you hear a very high-pitched grating sound of matter being torn asunder as the mirror piece begins to peel off the wall. But it isn't a wall it's peeling off of. As eventually you manage to get it half off, you see behind the panel of glass nothing but a black abyss.
Well, that's
Pure darkness. Pure nothingness.
You're peeling it.
Would you
apart
like
the
to continue
dimension.
peeling?
That's one way of getting out. Peel the dimensions.
I mean, if you break if I remember right, if it's a demi-plane, if you break the dimension, it will like spit you out.
It'll
Maybe.
either
Will
spit
it-
you out or spit you
Will
out
it
into
spit
the
you
astral
out?
plane.
Will it spit you out?
Maybe. It might spit me out.
You
of
got
the
a
plane.
50-50
It might
chance.
spit you out. It depends where it spits you out.
Or
It's
do you
not-
just become non-existent?
I mean, fuck you. He probably could he do an arcana on that?
Yeah, do an arcana. What high stakes we seem to have put ourselves in so quickly.
You'll be fine. Don't worry about it. You're immortal.
Yeah. Huh, that's weird. And keeps prying it.
Yeah.
Give me a perception check.
Perception. Bit better. 15.
15. You see something flicker. Not at the corner of your eye this time, but in front of you. But not quite in front of you. In the dead zone between your visions. In your blind zone. Something shimmers, something moves in the void as you stare into the dark abyss. And you can hear something. You're not quite sure how to describe it. It's not really a sound, it's a vibration. It's a strange echoing, but an echo that seems to derive from no sound. Almost a wave of disorientation.
Orientation.
Disorientation.
Fuck you. Like, peer into the void, and just go. Dad.
Dad.
And then the sound stops for a second, and you return to absolute silence. You continue peering and finally pry the piece off. Now just a pure black spot between an ocean of reflections. And you hold that piece in your hand now. You have a piece off the glass. It appears to just be a regular mirror. You look on it and there is a silver-lined backing to it, as you'd expect of a mirror.
Yeah. So he would like hold it out in front of him then, so you can see the door in the background, as long as it's still showing in the mirror.
It is still showing in the mirror.
Cool. So yeah, he would hold it out in front of him, walk backwards until like he's up against the door, and then
You
like,
do so?
see if he can like try open it.
You grasp for the wall. Nothing there. You try and touch the mirror, but you just feel cold glass against your fingertips. You try a couple times, repeating the process again and again and again. What else could there be? Are you truly trapped? Is this really the end of the immortal goblin? Give me a wisdom saving throw as you question your sanity, having been locked up in a room full of mirrors for 4 days.
18.
Just gonna say, if Black Star got trapped in a room full of mirror for 4 days, you would come in and she would just be dancing around, practicing songs and shit.
I think
Are
if
you
left
mad?
Alvina-
Yes, I am.
I think if you left Alvina in that long, she'd have eaten her own limbs.
Would she have tried to eat the mirror pieces beforehand?
Yes. She'd have eaten
Yes.
half of the dimensions first.
Would she have tried to adopt the mirror first?
No, it's not cute enough.
Well, I mean, it depends what it's reflecting, right?
It's
But,
not adopting her.
Fuck you. You find your sanity perfectly intact, as much as it was intact anyway.
You can't make fuck you insane. He was insane already.
Doesn't say it all right. How long do you attempt to keep trying this before you give up? Do you grow frustrated? Do you try slightly different things? Are you patient? Are you angry? What's your emotional state to this?
Getting annoyed. Be very like he would probably go to throw the mirror piece at the floor, and think, wait, no, this might still be useful at some point.
As you do so, as you're about to, as your hand is waving through the air in the motion, but you stop, you notice something very chilling. A shiver runs down your back. As you turn the mirror back towards you, your reflection's gone.
That's a bad sign.
Huh. Am I dead?
Probably.
Avina?
As you glance around the room, there it is. Standing just slightly off kilter to your actual location. It's mimicking you. It's doing everything you would. It's a normal reflection. But it's a couple centimeters to the left of where it should be. What would you like to do, fuck you?
Fuck you would like do some mental maths, and then start edging to the right. Realise you're going the wrong way, and then start going to the left.
You do so. It follows you and mimics you, but just a little bit off kilter in the room where it should be. I take it you keep going until it hits a wall?
Yeah.
As you're a couple centimeters away from the wall, you can see your reflection a little bit closer to it, about to make contact. And as it just momentarily brushes against it, its face suddenly twists around and stares at you in a twisting smile. Its face distorts, and you hear a high-pitched, not quite a giggle. Again, there's that disorientation, as if the sound is too high-pitched for you to hear, but the very unbalancing of your persons makes you feel it, makes your mind interpret it.
Yeah. Fuck you'd probably drop the mirror at that point and like grab his ears.
Everything wobbles around you, and you feel the essence of a manic cackle. A manic cackle you cannot hear, but you cannot stop feeling in your bones. It seems to reverberate and vibrate for several minutes before it dies down. Whatever it was has passed. A momentary glance up will reveal that your reflection is back to normal, huddled on the ground. You're not quite sure what that was, but if your adventuring instincts tell you one thing, you've attracted some kind of creature.
Oh god, there's two of them.
As we switch back to the rest of the party, it's been 10 minutes now, Lou Grim. What was your plan? What were you attempting to do? What were you going to go get?
Blue wasn't a pouch round his waist. Pulls out a glass eye. And I'm going to cast clairvoyance. See if I can see where fuck you is.
Even if they're on a different dimension from us.
Look, checking. Okay, visible sensor.
There is a chance it may not work.
In a location
If he's
familiar to you.
Or
Obvious
familiar,
or
such as behind the
obvious?
door.
Yeah, I'm not just.
He is behind the door.
I'm behind.
He's in another dimension.
Yeah, I'm in a like deep in a building, in a different dimension.
You might be able to get it to the outside of the door.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. We can find the door.
If we find the door, we might be able
We
to
can get
do
in. We
something,
open the door.
I like
Let
that.
him out. is what I was thinking.
I like that.
Mm.
I've described the door that was described, right? And it's just in that area in the guardhouse.
Fuck you would have said about the door in his message.
Okay, it's an obvious location that's unfamiliar to you.
Yeah.
So maybe.
Fuck you.
All right.
Didn't say anything about like the red door before.
I think you said
No.
you walked through a red door, didn't you?
Oh, did I?
I think you did. I think
Fine
you said
to I'm fine to allow it if Fuku wants.
Yeah, I said walk through a red door. I'm in a mirror room. Can't get out.
I locked myself in, can't get out in the guardhouse. Basically, is what I remember. So.
Alrighty. Does it require any sort of checks?
I don't think so.
Huh?
Just
It
when you
works.
cast a
It's just
spell, you
interesting.
choose seeing or hearing. You can use the chosen sense through the sensor as if you were in a space. As your action, you can switch between seeing and hearing. A creature that can see the sensor, such as a creature benefiting from seeing visibility or true sight, sees a luminous, intangible orb about the size of your fist.
It's an invisible
Okay,
orb.
then. I guess it's because it's got limited range. Fair enough. As you do so,
For me, it's 2 miles.
Yeah, we're near the building, so we're fine.
but I'm comparing it to Scry, which can do entire planes here.
Yes, Scry is like the bigger one. So.
Yeah.
Lou Grim, describe to me how Lou looks as he goes into his clairvoyant chant. Just don't know what the fuck is it called.
State.
Trance.
Trance.
It'd be-
As you go into your clairvoyant trance, clairvoyant trance. The words today.
He has got the glass eye in his hand. He's looking down with his eyes closed, concentrating really hard inside the guard tower and picturing a red door.
You see it on the corridor?
That I can see it in my mind.
As you focus in, viewing the world within your own world, a picture begins to form like an old radio television. Slowly, the picture is grainy, but it comes into focus as if warming up the edges, expanding out into a monochrome color vision of a room with a door. You see the red door, you're looking straight at it. It appears to be in a stone wall. There is a soft, warm orange light illuminating the space. As you look around, you're not in a corridor, no. You're in a room. And as you slowly rotate the eye to take in the full 360 vision that your clairvoyance bestows upon you, you start to glances as you edge closer to a broken mirror, reflecting back at you the very room that you're in, and as you sweep across the fractal patterns of 1,000 broken pieces, you see 1,000 different Fukyus reflected back at you. Not present with you, but through the mirror, reflecting dozens upon dozens upon dozens of them, huddled with hands over their ears. They look... Well, fuck you, how... Do you look scared? Do you look angry? This would have been just after the attack.
Just after the attack. Probably looking a bit freaked out.
And skinny.
Yeah, skittish. Like, essentially, like huddled over. What, like, not like
Your
huddled over,
position.
but sort of like squatting down, hands over his ears, eyes like scrunched up tight.
As if you just heard like a siren go off
Yeah.
right next to you, essentially. Yeah, I get the picture.
You watch as Loki remains huddled there. You can see him slowly starting to untense. How long is Lou Grim watching Fukyu? You can concentrate for up to 10 minutes. And are you trying to look for anything specific? You are in the room, and from what I can understand, Clairvoyant's eye does not move. So this is the full picture that you are getting. It's just this 360 panorama.
Only long enough time to see the entire room and the outside of it.
Yeah, that's we'll assume you use up nearly all of the 10 minutes as you're looking around, kind of scrutinizing, look for any clues or traces.
Can Lou see the door?
The red door, yeah.
Okay, so it's
That
inside
was
the
the
room and you
idea.
can
So
see the door.
see the door.
You
up
can
the
see the door from
open
the
it.
inside is the thing, so that's a good sign.
I tell this to the rest of the group.
Okay.
That he's in a bad state.
As the 10 minutes are nearly up, and you've scanned and scrutinized the room as much as possible, trying to memorize every detail in case anything, no matter how trivial, becomes relevant in the future, you scan back to Fukyu, and you watch as they slowly start to kind of pop their head up and look around. And as you're watching, you've not quite see, but you sense almost a shimmer or a tremor pass over the 1,000 fractal mirrors. And as you look back to Fukyu, you see their face lift and twist and distort and grin back at you in a horrifying vision of a creature not quite Fukyu. It grins, staring directly at your eye. And it laughs manically, but without sound, a sensation wobbling through your very mind as the spell ends and sends you spiraling back to reality with such discomfort. Lugrim, give me a wisdom save.
Hey.
Don't nat one. Hey.
15.
It was bloody horrific, but you've seen worse. And
Come
as
on,
you
patron. Yeah.
As you can tell your party the rest of this, before we come back to the part in a second, James, any final
Goodbye.
fade scenes you want to flash back to?
Yes, and it's while technically there would be one for Zormir. So yeah, real quick, the one for Zormir would be like the last one, but I'll do that now. Basically, Dr. Zormir.
Yes.
I got you to Bastion. I'm not going to go any further with you, I'm afraid.
Okay.
So this would be like the night 2. So like the day Fukyu goes missing, like the night before I would come see you last.
Mm.
I need to get back to my lab. I need to regain my memories.
If that's what you need to do, then that's what you need to do. But like I said, you can be whoever you want to be. You don't have to always necessarily go back to being a professor.
I know. I'm I'm not the professor. I'm not the Oni. I'm not any of these creatures. I'm not the kobold I see in my visions sometimes. I'm not anyone. I'm just. I don't know what I am. And I need to figure that out on my own. But
That's
thank
what
you.
everyone tries to do in their life: figure out who they are and where they want to go. And if you
And
have a semblance of that, go for it.
where do you think you want to go?
Well, my problem is I am too much of a workaholic, and also I am working towards getting everyone to essentially a safer place. I don't want the Noids to, in this reality, to suffer anymore or be under threat from what is here. And I don't see them taking charge of the place again, because that would just lead to them being the target again. But if I can get some other factions cooperating with them, then I can make it safer. And then return to my own reality. I would rather leave this place in a better state than it is.
Isn't that what everyone wants?
Yes.
What about your own mental state?
Oh,
Alvina
it's bloody
mentioned.
Lieutenant. It's bloody all over the place. Don't worry about me. I've gotten used to it. What do you think
Alvina and Lou mentioned you were on a revenge quest when you fell through a portal here.
Oh, yes. I need to get Junior back. My focus has been drawn all over the place. I understand that I have many things to achieve.
Well, I got you something that may help, but something tells me. Like I believe you won't use it. And I hold out a small oblong package.
Mm-hmm.
And aside from that, I racked my brain. I've given everyone something that I found in my travels that they might need. But I can think of nothing better than a word of thanks. And I hold out my hand to shake yours.
Okay. Well, good luck on your journey finding who you want to be. And I hope it brings us to a brighter Alterra in this dimension too. Hence the reason my renaming of the Curio. A new dawn should rise in this Alterra, and we should be the ones to pioneer it. Good luck on your journey, and good luck.
They nod. They go to turn away and sort of walk away and just sort of walk the streets for the night before they disappear in the morning. But before they go, they turn back and gesture at the parcel in your hand and say, "Don't let it define you. Like you said, you can be whoever you want to be."
You too. Good luck.
Farewell. Until the next one. And they walk off.
Mm.
You unwrap it. It's or do you want to unwrap it?
He will keep it and put in his hidden storage for now.
Okay.
The non-goblin based safe.
Yeah. Whenever you want to unwrap it, you just let me know and I'll send you what it is.
Cool.
Or actually, I'll just send you it in private.
Actually, yeah, that's a good idea. Just send it now. And
Yeah.
Future.
Yeah. I've got one last one for the point, but I can wait and do like if everyone else has a scene still.
No, we're wrapping up, and
okay.
So let's go ahead and do yours, and then I'll do our final thing before we finish.
So yeah, it would have been probably you would have, while we were traveling, the point would have seen Fade working on something like cussing furiously from their desk, like doing scribbling, like the sounds of whatever this world's version of sellotape is, mending.
Duct tape.
Yeah. Yeah, on the final day as well, before Fade goes off, and right before they talk to Zormir, actually, they would come to you while you were either tuning an instrument or looking through a cookbook or something. Point, I had a few things to give you, but I've given one of them to Gwent because I think he could use it better.
Just
Oh,
nod and say, oh, good to know he'll be getting use of it.
I found this on my travels, and I wanted to give it to you. And thank you for being such a good friend. Thank you for believing in me and trying to help me remember who I was. I do a little bit. And the eye would flash with what Gwent was able to release with the Greater Restoration, and just like one after the other happy moments with Professor and Point and Gwent sharing like pints and whatnot or whatever, meal times, that sort of stuff, being lit on fire by fuck you just as a prank, that sort of stuff.
Getting
We
your
have different
rations and Alvin's through it.
We have
And
different definitions of happy times, but continue.
the last one would be a recording, like slightly grainy, you know, like a VCR recording of like so slightly grainy and like snowy
Yeah.
of your performance. When you forget the name of the place. What the fuck was it?
The first one.
Yeah, the village
Salvage.
that Salvage. It would have been your performance in Salvage when I did
When we were rocking
like
out.
recording,
Yep.
and there was fog clouds, and I cast pyrotechnics, and
And I threw it into the audience.
yeah, basically that.
You got your fan.
And
That's my
they
fan. Yeah, that one.
Yep.
they take out they press a button on the side of their head, and a little thing pops out the other side, and they put it to you, and it's a little, as you activate it, it's like a little Star Wars style Sith hologram thing, you know, that the characters had, that just projects an image of you rocking out, basically.
Just
And-
the Point head banging on the
Yeah.
The point is cheering up here.
And
Oh, hi.
I also I found this in the scraplands. I've been trying to piece it together for, well, since what happened. But I couldn't read it. And they pull it, and so I like to imagine different spell scrolls, obviously, like arcane casters, it's like arcane runes, like Gregorian chants for clerics, that sort of stuff. This one looks like a song, so it looks like notes on a page, that sort of stuff. So I can't cast it, but I'd wager you can. And written at the top, you see black stars razzle dazzle.
Okay. Well, I don't know what to say.
It looks like it, and it's written on
What,
different
you-
scrolls as well.
You found this.
Well, it was in pieces. So the scraplands bits of pieces used to fall through from different worlds, different portals. See, I remember that stuff now. But this must have come through one day, and
Like,
I could identify it, but I couldn't cast the spell. But
looks like her handwriting. And the point will open a compartment in Merida and put it in there.
yeah, it does look like Black Star's handwriting. It's sort of
Yeah.
elven, like very, elvish, that sort of style of writings. And it seems if you can do performances like this, you can do any sort of performance. Give them the old razzle dazzle.
So I was just going to, well, I actually had something for you as well. And
What?
we'll pull out from, as you're on the ship, from their quarters. It's a small box with a statue of the professor on top of it, with a little key on the side.
Oh,
And if you turn the key, it will.
I do turn the key.
It it's a music box.
Yeah.
Plays melody, and the little professor does a little dance. Not quite the
No.
same, but and the point will
for
also
the
point out.
yeah.
Let's go. In the bottom, there's something in there if you ever need to contact us.
Thank you.
This isn't goodbye. This is just so long for now.
Yeah. And they pull a little. Actually, yeah. No, the holocron thing would be enough, so I can find you as well.
Okay.
With that, I can
Well,
teleport.
we've got backups.
Yeah. 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 You hear her laughing.
No.
No.
Well,
No.
I wish you luck with your recovery. If you need
I
anything
wish
while
you
we're still in
luck.
Bastion, just follow the sound of screaming, probably.
Yeah, probably.
What the fuck is that?
A word of advice before I go. You and Gwent should get far away.
The fuck out of here.
Run. Turn. Just get gone.
Just leave.
From
This place.
that's the plan.
Mm.
As soon as we find out how.
You're a good person.
Dwarf. But yes.
Those are people.
Dwarves can be people too, point. No matter what Alvina says.
Like dwarves.
For dinner.
Same with everyone though.
As the scene sort of plays back, I would wind up the music box. And you've never seen either the professor or Fade cry. But for the first time there's like definite
Welling up.
they're becoming more human.
Organic.
Mm.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought you were gonna say, and you still will never. And they leave.
No.
That's good.
There's always got to be a single tear.
One single tear. I like
Single
that.
tear. And as that moment plays out and bittersweet music plays in the background, we return to the present day in our latest predicament, with potentially Fukyu's life on the line. Will we lose a third-party member this day?
God.
Only time will tell. The party have an invitation this evening to dine with what is effectively the mayor of Shadow Cove, Miss God, I've already forgotten her name.
I've got it written down.
Whatever I put her name is, Simano, whatever.
Greta or something like that. Grensilly, yeah.
Grensilly. We flash back once more to Fukyu. Again, the room is quiet, but in the distance you can feel that same shimmer. There's an apprehension growing in your stomach, not quite of your own, as you can feel an anticipation that something is coming. You've not seen the last of that creature. As what would Fukyu like to do going into the end of the scene? How is Fukyu going to react? How are they going to prepare as we semi-fade to black?
I'll just have a look and see if I've still got it prepared. Yep, I do.
I have a rough idea of what everyone's doing next week.
Essentially, in the middle of the room, Fukyu is starting to, or just casts, ritually cast a tiny hut. And tried to get a bit of, like, proper
Peace.
rest.
Seriously, I think that might actually take up the entire room.
Yeah.
Fair
Force
enough.
the other dimension out with your own dimension.
Yes, a 10-foot radius, yeah. It would overlap
Uh-huh,
the
okay.
entire room, yeah.
Oh, it's radius. Yeah, it's only a 15 diameter.
Yeah.
Quite funny. I have no idea how that works. I assume it just squeezes in.
If
Push the
there's a
dimension
hole in the
out.
wall that is going into another dimension.
It's pushing the demon thing against the wall and squashing it.
You're gonna
Well,
you're trying
technically,
to
no, it would be in the heart as well, potentially. No, in that case, I wouldn't do that.
do it.
It'd probably cast sending to Alvina again, going, you did get my message, didn't you?
Can I
still
send?
here,
I
I'm
can't
still
talk.
stuck."
I can't talk back with sending.
You can,
can
yeah.
I?
No, you can
Yes.
you can send one response of like a certain length.
The first one
25
would
words.
be. The first one would have been, on our way, and the second one will be, yep, still on our way. May take
Yeah.
long.
Let me just
Oh,
roll
have
a
a-
D20 just to make sure they got
Oh,
through.
yeah, there's still that 1%, 5%
fine.
chance you fail. So
Yeah,
fine.
on
Still
our
fine.
way, still coming. Take long. Is basically what the response from Alvina is going to be.
In that case, fuck you would probably try and make the hole in the mirror wall bigger. Like try pry more off.
Okay.
Just mine your way out.
Mind your way out. Similar question as we switch over to the rest of the party. What's the rest of the party's plans for the rest of the day? It's currently just kind of coming to the end of morning. The day is split into effectively 3 periods. What would you like to do as we go into the afternoon? You've got a whole period before this evening's dinner. In theory, you can time skip it if it wasn't for you know, I'm really wanting to say fuck you, but
Yeah, that guard is gone somewhere else on patrol, right? The one we talked to.
yeah, you can't really hang about all day. But word does seem to be getting around the other guards that there's a non-pleasant group of individuals hanging about and loitering. You're getting a couple stares over the last couple minutes.
I'm basically gonna just go up with another guard and go right.
Okay, so you're gonna try and
We're
talk
gonna do
your
it
way
again.
in. Yep.
Point,
I
you're
expect-
talking to it this time. I'm basically.
I
I'm
was
gonna
just
whole
about to say,
point
would
up.
it not be better point speaking because high charisma, well, high persuasion.
All right, you're gonna continue trying to talk your way through. Okay.
Yeah.
Do we have a way to get in there quickly and get back out? I
Walking.
mean,
Get arrested, sober up quickly.
some
They have a drug tank.
invisibility spells or something.
I think fuck.
Maybe
you's the one that has
a couple dimension doors yourself.
I think fuck you's the one that
this
has.
is me subtly asking Neil, can you use
So
your
I have
dimension door?
invisibility. I can
I didn't
invisible
hear
us.
you, sorry. Yes, I can dimension door.
Okay, but the plan is to try and get to Fukyu's
Yes.
mirror room is the plan. Okay,
And kick in the
what we
door.
need to work on.
Literally kick in the door.
As with that, I want to thank you all for watching. Thank you all for joining. Thank you all for playing the first session of the new year, the first session of the effectively season 2 of the Shower Osphere. And please tune in and join us next week, next Friday, for episode 49, Haunt of the Eyes Merced.
48. 48.
Why is 48?
49.
I actually got the numbers right for once. That's the only reason I know.
And
Nice.
tune into future Tales from the Altspheres episodes as well.
Yes, I want to thank James for being a fantastic player throughout the season, and I look forward to hopefully the coming sessions and campaigns that James is going to be helping hosting. I say helping, is going to be hosting and helping expand out the Alterra cosmology and adventures.
It'll be weeknights. It'll be like on a Wednesday or a Thursday or something.
Because, you know, we're so bad at posting stuff on a Tuesday that we've just given up on that.
Yeah.
Yes, I look forward to seeing how you deal with the eyes immersed.
Oh, this is good.
Thank you all, and good night.
See ya.
Bye.
Farewell, my friends. I'm fading away. The screen fades to black. Roll credits.
You'll be back to save us eventually.
I'm sure I
Same-
will. Or
same when we're
to
out.
destroy you.
I mean, Blackstone might turn up.
No, not in this world.
You up?